you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, take me higher. You take me higher, baby, take me higher. You take me higher, baby, take me higher. Yeah, you take me higher, baby.
On tonight's show, we're just gonna look at once again the kooky, the crazy, it don't make no sense relationships, the issues that they have, and give the best advice that we have. Also, we're gonna continue with the series of the worst person of the year and the worst video of the year. Stay tuned. Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the progressive news show with Les BS. I'm your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with Anna Hart, Theas Robinson, and Jaja Gabor. So tonight's show,
And address her properly. Your Majesty, it is good
Thank
to have
you,
you
Anna.
with us tonight.
Thank you, Anna, for that. I appreciate it.
Yes, hello, Your Majesty, the highfalutinist of the high-tutinist.
I am queen of the premature grade queendom.
Udahada?
Well, I'm
The
the who?
premature grade king queendom.
Okay.
you know what? I knew something was coming, and I still was shocked. So that's on me. That's on me.
Doesn't this crown fit my royalty, my dignity?
It does.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for a Eurocentric
Yeah,
symbol of oppression and colonization, I really don't think it does you justice. But I think it's pretty.
we need
The
to get you
queen
dressed up with a lovely headpiece that has beads that go down, that have
Maybe one that's a little more ethnic.
That was
Yeah.
out of the queen's budget.
Well,
The queen could only afford what was in her budget.
Well, do your stuff.
maybe the
That was not
Queen's
on sale
friend.
today.
Well, Tracy,
I think
do
it's pretty
yourself
though,
a
Tracy.
favor.
I am the queen. Thank you.
Okay, well, do yourself a favor, Queen. If you see a white little girl riding around in the house, duck.
Based on this tiara crown, She'd be the one to send the little girl off to go to be a mercenary against an entire family.
The queen is not pleased.
Yeah.
True, sure, them dead people in that movie please need them, but hey,
Because
no.
it's
what it
television.
is. Let's see who's all out there. My system running slow today.
Nobody.
I do. It's not coming up.
Well, hello, whomever might be out there
Yes.
today. Hello to all
Well,
of
I
you,
can tell
each and
you.
every one of you.
We hope you're having a good weekend.
Hey, Kim.
Scott?
There we go. Hey, Foxy. What's going on with my system there? Hey,
No,
Foxy.
you should go back
Hey,
to Susan's
Foxy.
comment about
We're
the
coming
gray
back to
hair
it.
adorns me.
I'm coming back. I promise.
Thank you for listening
Hey,
to the
Susan.
queen. Hello, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Hello, Nikki. Marlon, hey, Foxy. That's it. Queen Trace.
I swear, I think I started drinking a little bit too early. I'm gonna need some more to get through this. This is
Love it, Tracy. These gray hairs are so disrespectful. They're the ones, the women that wears it beautifully.
I love her gray hair.
I've never had an issue with her gray hair.
Everybody
think it's
loves
dope.
her hair.
But
So,
you know, whenever you always want what you don't have, and you don't want what you do have, and you know.
and there's
The
my
queen
sister-in-law,
is
Tanya.
embracing her
Hello.
grief for one day only. The queen
But-
says hello, Tanya.
Isn't this like Hallows Eve?
Yeah, something like that.
Let's get this party started because this is going to be. Okay, we're going to start off by introducing people when they can't figure out who is and who is not a friend, or is this friendship worth fighting over. We'll give you an example of the latter.
And I don't know what to do. My roommate and I met freshman year of college and have lived together for the past 2 years. For the sake of this story, I'll call her Haley. That's not her real name. She has always done little things that bother me, like being extremely messy and not paying me back. But the situation has grown to be so much more than that. As of the past 6 months or so, she has been just plain mean, for the lack of a better term. Whenever I say that I like something, she tries to tell me that I am wrong for liking it, and then gives me a bunch of reasons why. She will also comment her negative opinion on looks or items of a mutual friend's, or even strangers out of nowhere. Her comments are almost never positive. If it's not something that she owns or has been accustomed to in her life, it is less than or wrong. This oftentimes hurts my feelings and others. It even extends to the food that I eat. If I just happen to be eating something that she doesn't like, she will tell me that it's gross or looks disgusting to her. Another thing that Haley continues to do is not pay people back, including me and our friends. It especially irritates me because she is given a large allowance from her parents every month. Yet the money that me and our friends have is money that we have worked for and earned ourselves, thus making it more valuable to us since we don't have an automatic cash influx without hard time and effort. Haley still owes me so much money for things I have bought her throughout the years and has not paid it back regardless of how many times I have asked nicely. The last major things that she does is complain. Along with the negative opinions, all I hear whenever I'm around her is why things are seemingly so awful for her. She constantly complains about not having things, or that the current situation just simply isn't good. For example, she attended a beach trip with our friends and complained that the sand was too flat, as well as the fact that the king-size bed she slept on hurt her back. She also said that, of course, none of the food was to her liking. In comparison, she would also brag about her beach house and how how it's so much better than the one we were staying at. It made me so upset because it made me feel like I couldn't ever fix a situation to ever make her feel content and happy. To top this all off, she's also very selfish. She refuses to help someone out unless there's a benefit for her. Overall, she is very sensitive and has cried and ran away from situations if I have brought this up in any way, shape, or form. Even just simply asking her to pick up her mess or her trash in the common living area will cause some kind of meltdown and cause her to freak out and run away. How do I bring up these topics to her in the kindest manner possible? It has really been exhausting me mentally and emotionally, and has come to a point where it's hard at all just to see her as a good person. Keep in mind, I am one of her only good friends, whereas I have many more friends that I can rely on. What should I do?
So before anybody say anything, I let Foxy listen to this story before I put it on the show. And she said something so profound, I literally had to write it down so that I can remember it. So this is Foxy statement. I would just cuss the bitch out, end quote. Lady, you are her only friend because you the only one that puts up with her. That's it. And you still trying to fight for what? To be miserable? Because that's all you didn't even some of the stories even say they're a good person and they have a good personality, but sometimes you didn't give absolutely nothing good about this person at all during this whole talk. Zero. And this is how can I bring this up to her? I'm out. You are her only friend because you decide to be her only friend. Everybody else have figured out what you either trying to deny. I don't even know why you're in this at all. I don't understand this at all. So, Anna.
All of those words said, I'm done. I can't stand this anymore. You're right. I was gonna say, and now the good parts? There was nothing. Move on. And just, okay. Those videos, they're really, really hard.
I know.
Yeah.
That background killing me. There's one that I just had to take the background out completely because I don't even have an issue and it was driving me nuts. So, Tracy.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I am the queen.
Queen, whatever.
The queen feels, thank you, Anna, for addressing me properly. The queen feels as though she should kick her out, change the locks, and then take her to small claims court for the money that she lent her and get rid of this person and find a better roommate. That is what the queen has bestowed.
Theus.
I think the whole damn story is stupid. All right, this is your roommate, and all you can say is negative things, which makes me actually look at you sideways because it's always easier to paint somebody else as a villain. So what's your role in all this? And then how you talking about somebody owes you a bunch of money? Why are you still giving them money if you didn't lay out all this stuff? So either you're a willing victim or you stupid. Either way, I have no compassion for this person who was telling the story. None. And the other person, okay, cool. You're saying that she's spoiled. All right. She's talking about she got a damn Malibu beach house or whatever the hell. What do you expect?
Sorry, can you do a summation? I missed the loaning money part.
She was saying that her friend owes her so much money and owes her friends money too.
Even though she gets an allowance.
But that's not your money though. So if you know that she's got an allowance and then you still giving her money because she's not, responsible with her money, that's on you. Like everything in that story, for the most part, other than being saddled with a a bad roommate, it's on you. I'm sorry, I don't feel nothing for this one.
It just sounded like they're trying to convince themselves it's okay to go or to separate. That's
It's
what
a
I heard.
roommate.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
It's
It's a
not a
roommate.
big deal.
So there's more to the story than what's being told, and that's the kind of stuff I don't like, because you know, everybody can always paint the other person as a villain.
And I was trying to figure this out. When she said that, I even came to the conclusion this lady just wants to fuss about whatever. The sand was too flat. The hell kind of saying you used to? If
Allegedly,
saying?
Allegedly she said that. What kind of person holds on to someone saying that? Was your friend drunk when she said it? Was she having a meltdown when she said it? Was she in one of them funny ass moods when she said it? Did she even really you're just saying it to make her look bad, add a little more flavor to your little sorry ass story? So if you have a situation where one person likes to be a victim and the other person likes to be spoiled, then you get these situations.
Is it for the fact that some people just like to be the victim?
Yeah.
They can't help it. They will go out of their way to find somebody that would take advantage of them. I don't know if that's something that they think that's their role in life to do, or
no, some people like to feel like they're helpers, like they're people pleasers, right? And so they go find someone that will allow them to play that particular role, and then claim not to like the role that you went to go be in. You know, it's an unhealthy relationship, but it's not all on the other person.
All right. Well, moving on to I will say this was a relationship issue, but I already got my answer to it, so let's just get to it.
A little background here is that I make around $250,000 a year. My fiance makes around $65K a year. We've both been divorced. I asked for a prenup protecting my existing assets, 2 rental properties worth around $400K together, my retirement account, my house which I live in, my existing savings account, and just sentimental things. I offered to pay for a lawyer for her and make everything earned after the wedding fair game in a divorce split. In my previous divorce, my ex took a lot that I had before we ever even met each other and took a lot of things with sentimental value just to hurt me. I floated the idea of a prenup and she was not okay with it. It hurt her feelings, and she said I was planning for a divorce if I want a prenup. She had this idea that when we marry, everything becomes ours. We've been dating for 4 years and had very few bumps, so I don't see a super high risk of divorce, but I do acknowledge it's there. Anyways, I love her, and I said sure. Fast forward a couple of months, and her grandmother abruptly died. It wasn't expected. Her grandmother was quite healthy before. She had a heart attack. Apparently, the grandmother left the entire estate to her, worth roughly $800,000. Now the tables have turned and she wants a prenup protecting these assets from me, which I was fine with. But she doesn't want to sign my prenup in return for that. Her reasoning is that her grandmother wouldn't have wanted her wealth to leave her direct family, and that there's a reason it was all left to me and not my siblings or parents. And that the prenup must not have been important to me because I threw out the idea after the minimal pushback. I'm at a loss here. In one regard, I'm glad we had prenup discussions because it brought out these sides of us. But I'm really wondering if this 4-year relationship that's been full of nothing but love and support for each other until now is even salvageable. She's not willing to budge on her own prenup like I was, and I'm finding this whole situation very frustrating.
So I'm gonna go backwards on this and go last. So Theus,
leave her. The relationship's still young enough. You can find another one, bro. Because you a little stupid. I mean, the way you tell the story is pretty responsible of you, and it's level-headed and all of that. But are you really surprised that a woman would present an argument of what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine? I mean, that's an age-old double standard that, kind of rolls. But he's being legit. Look, I've been through a divorce. This is how it affected me. I just want to make sure that if something did happen, because no one plans for a divorce, but when it happens, it's too late to plan for the divorce. So I just want to make sure that anything before we came together, I at least have that to go back to. I don't want to turn around and end up having to live on my best friend's couch. Right. And she's like, no, it's so insulting if you trust me and love me and la 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 la. And okay, cool. Then when the money come on your side, it's your money now. Okay, all right. She's not wrong for feeling how she feels, but she might be wrong for you. So let it go. Trade her in, get another one.
The queen, the highness, Tracy.
The queen feels as though this woman is full of garbage. She is a hypocrite. She is the type of woman that makes all of us other women out there who are not desperate, because we're not desperately seeking a man, but we would certainly like one. She makes it hard for us prematurely grade people out in these streets. She is a selfish twit. He should run as fast as he can and never look back. He can find someone that meets his standards better than I'm not a gold digger, but I ain't no broke. The queen has spoken.
So as the note, just have it noted that Tracy agreed with me.
I don't think anybody's going to disagree on this show, but I still got Anna. So Anna.
And I coded it Ya or Ye or whatever his name is now.
He don't
Ditto.
now.
Ditto. Yes.
I'm going to convert back to what Thea said in the last story. This is just stupid. Dude, this is just stupid. Like, how is this even a question? How do I get through with this is, bro.
This one makes more sense than that last one.
Let me just speak to you. Let me just speak to you real quickly. You need to either give her 3 ultimatums. And at this point, I mean ultimatums. Either we sign both of them, we sign neither of them, or you can go. That's just the bottom line to it. We're not going to hold a big discussion. We're not going to play this coop. Because you know the gaslight, as soon as she said, well, you didn't make too much of a pushback on it, so apparently it wasn't important. Man, get out of here with this crap. This is stupid. This is not even a question that she is in it for the money. She wants the ability. In layman's terms, she wants the ability that she can keep her money in case of a divorce, and she can take a portion of your money in case of a divorce. That she's going to come out a whole lot richer. Simply, and I hate to say it like this, but I'm just being real. She's going to come out richer simply by divorcing you. That should be always in the back of your head for every argument, every misunderstanding, every little issue that comes up. That should be in the back of your head all the time.
I don't know. I disagree there.
It depends on what the situation is. If it's what's going on with the money, what's going on with the finances, while you looking at some other woman and blah, 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 I can see the argument. If she blows up because you didn't put the lid on the peanut butter, okay, really? What are we doing here? What are we doing? So, yeah. And I'm gonna take one off the table. I said neither one of y'all sign a prenup. After what this lady said, either we both sign a prenup or you can leave. Because you don't show your true colors. So I'm taking that not signing the prenup because no.
I'm talking about how you sign a prenup after you already got married. How the hell
Did I
that
marry
happen?
yet? They're not married yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're still.
Well,
So the inheritance came before they got married. Okay.
Yes,
yes.
that's what I understood.
When she got the inheritance from the grandma, $800,000, and now she wants to sign a prenup before the marriage.
Okay.
All the while he wanted the prenup way before she even got the inheritance. And no, you just already traded to get a divorce and everything. Okay.
Because that's how people are. You know what I'm saying? It's not real till it's real. You know? And when I can see you have the money and I'm being barred from it, I can be offended. I don't have it. I don't have that situation on my side. But then when I do have it on my side, it's a whole new equation now. It's a whole different discussion now. You know, kind of like the one we had with the sisters with the baby. You know, people funny like that. I just say, just let it go.
Hmm.
But if you're gonna go into a marriage actively concerned about a divorce, then don't get married.
Trusting,
Right? But
yeah.
I do think, and I know this is very unpopular because it's too, I guess, logical. But when you are at the point where you're seriously talking about getting married, then you have to acknowledge that there's a relationship component and there's a business component, right? Of a marriage. It just is, because you're trying to build something, you're trying to grow something, right? There are objectives that need to be met. Do we see raising children the same way? Do we see religion in a compatible way? How do we view moving or relocating for work?
Finances.
Do we keep separate accounts and manage it jointly? Do we keep separate accounts and we just take care of what needs to be taken care of? You know, all those conversations need to be happening. And then just like when you write your business plan, you also should be planning for the business not working out. So you have that logical discussion, because that's how the prenup discussion should happen, right? It should be a part of that whole long, serious thing. It's all about estate planning, right? Because you want to make sure that if we do get a divorce, that you are not left in a worse position than when you came to me. And if I were to pass away prematurely, or you were to pass away prematurely, what type of lifestyle would we like to try to have in place for the remaining party? Right? You should have all these kinds of discussions early, and then periodically touch on a few of them. But people don't want to do that, you know, and I'm guilty. I tried. My wife wasn't having no parts of those conversations. But you know, I just think it's important because this is the shit that can happen. You know, ideally we all grow old together, sitting on the porch, eating pudding or some shit. I don't know what old people do, but you know, I might not get there with you. You know, heart attack, car accident, whatever. So I don't know, man.
And while you are still feeling friendly towards each other, yes, you would then think of the best outcome if you did come to a divorce. You know, it's very logical to me.
Yeah. But wherever there's high emotion, logic doesn't have much of a place. That's
Right.
why business deals are oftentimes conducted with a lawyer or a mediator, because you have to take the emotion out of that part.
Yeah.
You know, and
Mhm.
I was talking to a coworker just the other day. You know, part of me, you know, I'm an Android, so I have a operating system, and like I was telling him, is like part of my operating system is for serious things, you make your decision before you ever encounter the problem. Like, under what conditions would you leave someone in a relationship? Under what conditions would you actually contemplate causing serious harm to another person? Under what conditions would you, you know, those serious things that will, those life altering things, make that decision before you're in it? Because that way, when you get to that point and you know, God forbid the relationship is failing and then you don't know what to do and oh my gosh, I don't know. You don't have to come up with a decision in that moment. You just have to follow through on the decision you already made.
All right. Well, we're in the 30-minute mark, so I really honestly think this last story is going to take up the remaining 30 minutes, including going into the break. That's how crazy this is. I honestly don't know or can't remember if I played this story before. It sounds familiar to me, and I may have heard it and played it for Foxy and things like that, and that made me be my familiarity to it. Or I did play it on the show. So if I haven't played it on the show, this is brand new, cool. If I have played it on the show before, then I would want to nominate this as one of the worst people so far this year. So I'm covering myself anyway. Anna, this background is just like the last one that was just driving
I'll look
you
away.
crazy. So just make sure that you look away. So it's 3 parts to it. If the 2 parts take us into the break, so be it. I'll promise you I'll play the 3rd part at the second half, cause man, this
I didn't have one. I'm a 31-year-old male, and my wife is 29. We had a baby last December. It was a traumatic birth, and my wife developed postpartum depression. While she was originally going to go back to work after the birth, she's been struggling enough that we decided to wait until our daughter was a year old and reassess. She has been going to therapy weekly. With my wife home full-time, I've had to work increased hours. This is something we discussed prior to making this decision, and she knew this from the start. A few weeks ago, my boss approached me about a project that would require a lot of overtime in a short amount of time. It would both be great financially and for my career. I talked to my wife about it and she agreed that I should say yes to my boss. For 4 weeks I'd be working on this, and my mother-in-law and her best friend Jessie, who's 29, would come help out with some of the duties that I typically do. Jessie is a
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, look, the clock was still running, but the sound went out.
All right, let's try this again. I apologize. Let's see what happens.
I didn't have one. I'm a 31-year-old male, and my wife is 29. We had a baby last December. It was a traumatic birth, and my wife developed postpartum depression. While she was originally going to go back to work after the birth, she's been struggling enough that we decided to wait until our daughter was a year old and reassess. She has been going to therapy weekly. With my wife home full-time, I've had to work increased hours. This is something we discussed prior to making this decision, and she knew this from the start. A few weeks ago, my boss approached me about a project that would require a lot of overtime in a short amount of time. It would both be great financially and for my career. I talked to my wife about it and she agreed that I should say yes to my boss. For 4 weeks I'd be working on this, and my mother-in-law and her best friend Jessie, who's 29, would come help out with some of the duties that I typically do. Jessie is a
I have no idea what's going on.
Stuff happens.
But I've been doing this for a while, so yeah. Sorry, folks.
Okay.
That's cool. Let's go with another topic. All right, so I'm gonna fill in the blanks. So check this out, right?
No.
Right?
I got it. Hold on.
Well, I mean, you were sitting there being quiet, so I was like, well, let me see if I can elaborate upon the story. See, this is the problem with royalty.
Right.
It is your highness.
Not mine.
Majesty.
Ashley is your majesty, but
Not mine. You family. I ain't got. That's like when your sister, like, you know, she got like special stuff going on. You be like, nope, you still Tracy. But I am the CEO. Yes, Tracy.
all right, here we go.
and have one. I'm a 31-year-old male, and my wife is 29. We had a baby last December. It was a traumatic birth, and my wife developed postpartum depression. While she was originally going to go back to work after the birth, she's been struggling enough that we decided to wait until our daughter was a year old and reassess. She has been going to therapy weekly. With my wife home full-time, I've had to work increased hours. This is something we discussed prior to making this decision, and she knew this from the start. A few weeks ago, my boss approached me about a project that would require a lot of overtime in a short amount of time. It would both be great financially and for my career. I talked to my wife about it and she agreed that I should say yes to my boss. For 4 weeks I'd be working on this, and my mother-in-law and her best friend Jessie, who's 29, would come help out with some of the duties that I typically do. Jessie is a...
Dude, how many times we gonna try this, man? Look,
Mhm.
hey, if you started with the next video, would it make sense to us?
All
You said
right.
it was
So
multiple parts,
apparently
right?
this ain't trying to work. The hell with me, I guess. Anyway, so here's the deal. Just keep y'all focused on Jesse, the so-called friend. So the guy, as you said, he was doing the project. He did the project for a while. Everything was cool. One day he comes home and Jesse still is there helping with the baby. He doesn't understand why Jesse there. So he greeted everybody, greeted the wife, and Jesse pops up and says, "Oh, he doesn't even greet you? That's a sign." So he turns around and goes, "A sign for what?" So the wife pops up and goes, "A sign that you're cheating." And he was like, "What are you talking about? The project is just an excuse for you to cheat." So he was like, "I can show you all the proof in the world. I can show you the email the boss that told me for the project. I can show you the pay stubs from the overtime. I can show you everything." So the first time I wanted to slap Jesse, Jesse pops up and goes, "Well, let me see your phone." "Chick, you ain't my wife. Why would I let you see my phone? I ain't married to you. I'll let my wife see my phone." So he gives the phone to his wife. His wife looked through it, doesn't see anything out of the ordinary. Check the text messages. Jesse pops up again. "Oh, he must have deleted them." Okay, lady. Well, I don't know what your issue is. So he kicked the woman out. So there you go with that. So hopefully part 2 will play and we can move on from there. I ain't making no promises though.
Bored. Jumping into the future, there is an update. That night, I approached my wife and told her that I was going to find a therapist. I didn't connect it to her accusations or anything, just said that I was having a tough time and I needed therapy. She shrugged and then told me to do whatever. The next day, I got home from work and our room and my home office was ripped apart. Things were everywhere. Important papers were scattered. I don't see her, but our daughter is in her room crying. My wife left her alone. Her cell phone's off. I call my in-laws and a few friends, but no one's seen her. I'm starting to get worried, and I call my mom to see if she can babysit while I go out and look for her. Before my mom can get home, my wife gets back. Jesse's driving. Jessie doesn't come in. She hasn't been back in the house since I kicked her out because she was offended by my behavior, but my wife does. She's clearly upset, been crying. I ask what happened. I thought at first the house might have been robbed. She starts screaming at me that I'm being unfaithful and that therapy is a front so that I can meet my mistress. I try to calm her down and tell her that's not true, but she came at me and swung. My nose is broken. She kind of realized what she did and sat down on the couch and went comatose, just stared at the wall. I went into my daughter's room and locked the door. I called my mom to tell her what happened. She was already on her way, and my mother-in-law to ask her to come over and take care of my wife. I packed a bag for my daughter, and when my mom got there, we left. My wife didn't even look up. We dropped my daughter off with my dad and then went to urgent care for my nose. I got blood all over my mom's brand new Subaru. My daughter and I are staying with my parents for a while, and my wife is staying with hers. I'm looking into getting a restraining order against Jessie. My wife and I are separating. I love her, but I won't live with someone who hurts me and who could potentially hurt our daughter. I am not going forward with a divorce yet, with the hopes that my wife's will get the treatment she needs and we can work things out. My in-laws told me they're looking at inpatient treatment at a local hospital, but I also have everything everything well documented in case of an eventual custody battle. My heart is broken because I know this isn't my wife. This is a sickness in her mind, but I need to keep myself and our daughter safe and give her the space to recover. I'm hoping that this is the right decision.
I don't know that played correctly. That was part 2. That played correctly.
You want us to comment?
Yes.
You left the baby home alone?
Remember, she's got depression. She's not operating on a normal way. You know, so
Right.
I mean, this definitely be very much a real story. I mean, the lady's already dealing with depression. Depression does not operate in a straight line. And then you have this so-called friend who's basically projecting her own insecurities onto your wife, and probably in other circumstances, your wife would have been strong enough to resist the nudges, and it just would have been a normal 2 people venting on their lives and talking crap. But your wife is a little bit more susceptible, and it spirals. Only parts I'm kind of detracting from is I don't know if I would do a restraining order because it was an isolated event. But everything else he did makes perfect sense. It's, remove you and the baby from the situation because you know your wife. You know what her normal way is. So if she's not a fighter and then she just hits you, that's her illness, right? But that could also, like he said, manifest where what if she gets distracted or whatever may happen, and she shakes the baby because the baby won't stop crying, or slaps the baby because the baby, won't do right. So everything he did makes perfect sense to me. I think it's the right way to go. It's just tragic for the family, So yeah, that's all I got.
Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Are you wearing this tomorrow?
No, I am not wearing
Y'all
this
do know I
tomorrow.
don't dress up, right?
I have a different costume for tomorrow.
Okay, it better not be royalty.
I am royalty. Recognize my awesomeness.
Yeah, let's go, Your Majesty. Let's.
Jesse is toxic, crazy, and I don't mean that in the mental state. I just mean she obviously she's jealous of the relationship between the wife and the husband and wants to intersect in a relationship that seems to be none of her business. You know that she's going through postpartum depression, which can be very severe in some cases, even to the point where some mothers want to do harm to their child. And you're going to think, oh, let me put thoughts of cheating in her mind. Let's see how this plays out. I think he was correct in getting a restraining order on her. I would not want her around my daughter, my wife, my child, my house, my job, my grocery store. She is the one that needs therapy.
Wasn't a restraining order on the wife?
It
He
was
said
on
he was
Jesse.
thinking of getting a restraining. He was thinking about getting a restraining order.
Because Jesse didn't touch him, so you ain't gonna get no restraining order if she ain't touch you.
And I don't think he should get one on the wife. Obviously, she's suffering from depression. Again, postpartum is one of the most devastating forms of depression. However, I think he did right by removing him and his daughter from the situation because, as Thea said, as much as the Queen doesn't want to agree with Thea, she may have put harm to the child and herself. But Jessie has problems. Serious, deep issues where she's wanting to purposely ruin a relationship.
Jesse just might be messy.
And that also.
I think here's the deal with Jesse. I think Jesse got cheated on, and she's bringing this baggage into this relationship because there may have, and it's two things you can look at it. Either, yes, Your Majesty, she don't like that you have a happy marriage, and she gonna make sure that it ain't happen no more. Or there are signs that the OP is doing that emulated how she was cheated on, and she's converted her baggage onto that.
Yeah, but you know what, man? That's what I'm saying. Like, I think if the wife wasn't unwell, it probably would just be the normal type of like human interactions, because people do that all the time. You know, man. Look, my girl stopped, doing such and such for a while, man. And next thing I know, I found out she was doing it with somebody else. You know what I mean? And two dudes be talking like that, and they be like, "Yeah, well, that ain't my lady," or whatnot, and you able to shrug it off. But if you're in a vulnerable state, you'd be like,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
That might be.
Jesse is what is known in my queendom as a piece of crap.
So your vocabulary and your queendom is the same as everybody else's.
No, I am royalty.
Yeah, piece of crap is known throughout the world.
I do not know the royal term for piece of crap yet.
Pieces of crapit. You all keep falling out. Be right back, low blush. Yeah, something's going on with the system today. I'm gonna have to talk to StreamYard because the internet I feel is working fine, but this is scrappy. So I apologize in advance. Maybe this is gonna be one of them shows I can't break up because it's just so terrible that I can't break up. So yeah, but anyway. And just to add on to what Diaz is saying is that, yeah, if this was any type of normal situation, this probably would have got shut down a long time ago. Or even for the better sense of, she probably, even if she felt a certain type of way, the wife I'm speaking of, even if the wife felt a certain type of way, she may still went, you know what, I'm not 100% behind you, Jesse. So, let's not talk about it. It did in private with her husband, just bring it up casually. I feel a type of way. So is there certain things that you can show me to, put my mind at ease?
And think about that though, there's really, I don't know, maybe there's a right way to do it. I don't know how you do it. Because you don't feel the way you feel until you feel the way that you feel. Right. And then with the depressive situation, you have manic moments. So not only are you feeling it, you're feeling it intensely. But to you, it just seems like you're feeling it. You know what I mean? So I don't know how you would even have that discussion when you are not dealing with depression, because
no, I'm saying if she was in a normal state when she doesn't have depression.
Yeah, I mean, even if she was in a normal state, I'm just lifting that out and just saying for people in their normal relationships or whatnot, once you start to feel that way, is there really any answer the other person can give you? It's similar to the people who are election deniers, right? There's no answer you can really give them, because it'll end up feeling more like I'm just not knowing the right question to ask you. You know what I mean? You said you have to work late, and I understand that. And, I don't know why I feel the way that I feel, but, working late, to me, I would have expected you may, 2 or 3 days out of the week, you got to come home an hour or two late, but I can't reach you. You usually get off at 5. I'll call you at 6 just to see how you're doing. And the phone nobody picks up. And then you say you work till 7. Well, if you're at work, how you miss my call? It just starts to spiral. So there's no way to really get at it, because even if he gave you the phone records, he gave you, You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my boss who gave me the letter. You are already on this path.
But
You know what I'm saying?
Jesse didn't help.
No,
Because
Jesse was an
literally,
accelerant. She's like gasoline on a
Jesse
fire.
literally said, the OP said, here is my emails. Said about the project. Here's my pay stubs. Show you that I'm working part-time. Go through my text. Aha. Well, he erased the text. Well, you know what, sweetie? If you got the answer to just always point towards I'm cheating, even though I've shown you 3 things that prove that I'm not cheating.
Those
the
don't prove
4th
it.
thing, if you are to believe the text that there's nothing on my text that says it, you remove the 4th one.
But that's just it, Marlon. That's why I put it akin to the election situation, because it's about belief. You do not have the evidence you need, because you're trying to prove a negative, right? You're trying to prove to someone that you're not cheating when you're not cheating. You don't have that kind of proof.
What is the project about?
And like, there's
Tell
nothing.
me what you're doing, you know?
I can tell you about what I do on a project. I can tell you what time I'm doing it. If my job even allowed me, I could give you my badge swipes so that you know where I was in the building. But the fact still will come back to I'm trying to prove a negative. So now, if I'm able to give you, let's say we go that far, I give you the badge swipes, right? This hit this checkpoint and this checkpoint at these times. Well, that just means I'm cheating on somebody I work with.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go. You got a friend that works in security that knows how to do that. That knows how to change.
Or you got the situation where he just erased it or whatever. You know what? If he erased it from the phone, you still can get it from your phone company if you're that serious. But then at that point, you'd be like, oh, I see. The reason why it's not showing up on your phone is because you actually keep a prepaid somewhere, or you using that WhatsApp or Google number or some. There's so many things, right? You can't prove what didn't happen.
and I can use your analogy, Anna. Well, tell me about the project. Okay, I told you everything about the project and what we're doing. Well, you know that's probably somebody else's project, and he was just describing another project that he ain't nowhere on.
Who's he on the project with?
Who you on there with? That's who you're cheating with. Because all you need to do, literally, all you need to do is say one female name on that group.
You ain't even got to, because you got Messy Sally on the side. And it'll be like, I didn't heard about these down low guys. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you are trying to prove a negative, man. You can't do it. You can't do it. So either you give her whatever magical explanation will satisfy her, which there is none, because if she's dealing with postpartum depression, a big part of that, oftentimes from my understanding, is about self-worth, self-identity. I'm not who I was before the baby. All these things are like just knocking around in her head constantly. So she's already feeling like you do not see her the way that you used to see her, because she doesn't see her the way that she used to see her. So there's nothing you gonna say. She has to find healing on her own so she can find herself out of this dark place. You can only be supportive. Now, once she hits you, unless she's got a cognitive disability like Alzheimer's or something, because you got to work through some of that sometimes, because it's part of the reaction, whatever they, But what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? And then if you do divorce her, you're gonna be the bad guy. Guaranteed, you're gonna be the bad guy. Because you left her when she needed you most. That shit. That's why I was like, it's a really jacked up situation. It's a rough situation. It's a real situation because a lot of people go through it, and you don't know what to do until you're in it.
All right, we got 5 minutes before the hour, so we're gonna take our break now, because there's no way this last video is going to take 5 minutes to listen to and discuss. No way. So we're going to take a 3-minute break to reboot and refresh. Please do not forget to hit that like button, and we will see you in exactly 3 minutes.
could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, finally, I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Finally, finally, I wanna be free. Finally, finally, finally. I always say dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Finally, higher to a bird. You, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
You
We going,
changed.
we going
I
full
changed.
Wizard of Oz
We
today.
are doing straight up Wizard of Oz now, cause I don't know what's going on. And then we got Wonder Woman at the top, so I don't know. I'm so confused at what year I'm in.
I
What
think that's a
mythology am I using?
headdress.
I don't know what's going on.
Is that Hindi?
Yes.
Just because two other people chose not to wear costumes, that's their problem, not ours.
Well, y'all know I'm a boring old stick in the mud curmudgeon dude. So yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
And y'all know that I'm a grown man and I ain't wearing a costume.
Adults wear costumes all the time.
Congratulations, I'm not wearing a costume.
I was wearing the piece so that I could serve you properly, Your Majesty.
Marlon wants to be.
Well, she ain't Majesty no more.
Nope. Now I'm just mean old Tracy.
Well,
Compared to
See, what he's trying to make me do, audience, is curse on his show, which he knows I do not. But he's really trying to push it. And he doesn't realize he's gonna. I don't have commoner's language. I strive for the more excellent.
what did you just call me common?
If it fits.
no, a dago well, he complex.
I am the Wicked Witch of Indiana. And I even have my stick.
So that's the auntie stick.
Well, I couldn't
Right.
pull out my full broom because that would have been too big to fit in the picture.
You go ahead and pay these bills while I still have sanity. Please do not forget to come back tomorrow for Radical Truth to Power, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please do not forget to go to Tracy Media, patreon.com/Tracy Media LLC. Help support Tracy and all her causes. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Complex Mind. Help Theus in all of his endeavors. I'm trying to use big words now. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Radical Truth to Power, exactly the way it's spelled, capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think that you need to learn, but you do. And if you have anything, any comments, any videos that you would like to send out to me, you can at radtp@outlook.com. That's radtp@outlook.com. And I am shocked that all of that worked, because this system been a fool today. What's the wife therapist doing? Not their. Susan, I saw that earlier. Did they ever say that the wife had therapists?
Yeah, I think they did.
She was going every week.
But
Yeah.
therapists aren't magical.
Yeah.
Thank you, Foxy, for enjoying my costumes and my creativity.
Enjoying the costume. She put on two head things.
I got a headdress on.
I got dress. I guess I got a headdress on.
Why are y'all such haters?
How are we haters? Because we're not conformists?
No, you're criticizing people who have creativity and
What
drive.
criticism
and
did
function.
what
I
criticism
am the
did I?
Wicked Witch of Indiana. And when I say
I didn't
something
criticize that
goes,
crazy statement.
it is a true statement.
You gotta be careful. You live in a red state. You can't be self-identifying as no witch.
Really.
They believe that stuff.
They will burn.
And this is the final show for Tracy Carson. It's been nice. Don't go outside with that thing on your head.
I've been outside several times with this on. And wait until you see my costume tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be way better than Queen Tracy. It's going to be, you just wait. Just be on the watch for Radical Truth to Power tomorrow. I'm telling you.
Oh boy.
Again, Talia, she's been on. Oh, that's Foxy saying. Hey, oh, I'm so confused. So okay. It must
No,
be
it's
past midnight.
10:01. I'm telling you, you can't. What?
And I'm going to the so. This is the final episode, chapter, or whatever, and nobody should be surprised of the ending.
Jumping into the future, there is a sad update. My wife passed away on early Monday morning, convinced by her friend Jessie that I was having an affair that I did not have. She had a mental break, which resulted in my taking of our infant daughter and staying with my parents for a while. She was with her parents, who planned on taking her to the hospital for inpatient treatment on Monday. On Sunday, she came to my parents' house and demanded that I give her our daughter. Because she had left her alone for several hours the last time she was responsible for her and had gotten physical with me, I refused. I offered to let her come in and spend time with her while my parents and I were present, but she didn't want to come in and wanted to take our daughter with her. She was upset, but left eventually. A few hours later, she drove her parents' car into a tree and died. The friend, Jessie, came to see my daughter and me yesterday. After some tears, she told me that she was planning to speak at my wife's funeral. She had already cleared it with my in-laws, but was letting me know as a courtesy courtesy, I told her she would not be speaking at the funeral. We fought, and she left after telling me that I was a jerk and not the only person who loved my wife. I talked to my in-laws who were adamant that Jessie be allowed to speak. She and my wife knew each other since they were kids, and my in-laws were close to her. We're all very fragile right now, and I fear that pushing this further would hurt my relationship with my in-laws, which I don't want. Still, the thought of seeing Jessie up there at my wife's funeral makes me sick. I don't think I can stand to listen to her, knowing that she took joy in my wife's deteriorating mental health and picked up my wife, leaving my daughter home alone. That said, I don't trust myself to make the best decisions right now. My mind's clouded by grief, guilt, and fear. My parents are split on what to do, and I don't have the energy to reach out to my friends. So I'm coming here again to ask for your advice. What should I do?
Dude, go get some damn therapy and get off the damn message boards. What the hell wrong with you, dumbass? All right, so sorry your wife committed suicide, because that's what she did. She committed suicide. I'm sorry, we're not allowed to say that. She self-ended her life she gone. But how you going? I mean, look, I get it, dude. I get it. What you really are, you're not really blaming her for your wife's demise. You blaming her for the breakup of your marriage. And that's not fair, because no matter how messy she might have been, she is not what created the mental instability that your wife was suffering from. And they've been friends longer than you even knew your wife. So you can't sit here and pretend like she doesn't have an emotional attachment to losing her childhood best friend. So you don't like it, suck it up and let her speak. Have her peace. You have your peace. Let it go in peace and get some counseling. But I just don't, if this is real, I have a problem with you putting this kind of stuff up for me to even see or read it. I have a problem with that. That's all I got. You okay, Anna?
Anna?
I think I just upset Anna. I'm sorry, Anna.
I'll take Anna down so she can get herself together. So, Tracy?
He just needs to shut up. Go out. When she gets up at the celebration of life, because that's what we call it, go outside. And when she gets done, come right back inside. You don't have to listen to her speak. You don't have to ever talk to her. But I would probably, I'm not saying what he feels is wrong, because if you think about it, she was putting thoughts in that wife's mind when she knew good and well that she was suffering from postpartum and what it can do and what it will do to people. So I could see on his point, like, how is she going to speak? But, boy, I hate to say this. I agree with Theus again. They've been lifelong friends. Dude, she was there before you was. Like, get some help.
I'll go with what both of y'all said, that he needs to go get therapy. But here's the deal, and I'm going to go ahead and put this up, because Mickey was saying, have you told the wife parents what Jessie Rowe was in all of this? I don't want Jessie going up there talking, because I don't know what the hell Jessie going to say.
Yeah, but then she going to be like, it was her husband cheating that did.
If it wasn't for her husband, I don't trust Jessie to go up there and just speak entirely on her friend,
I
on
didn't
her
think about that
childhood
part.
friend. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't.
So you want to be able, you want to make sure that everything that's said at the funeral is pre-screened by you. So you want to interview her parents too.
You're
going to interview her parents. You're going to interview her friends. You're going to interview her cousins.
No.
So everybody got to make sure that what they say fits what you want to hear.
A girl who systematically, even though she had nothing to do with the mental health, she did have something to do with the unaliving of the friend.
But that's his perception of the situation. What we are not getting is a full story. No matter how you look at it, no matter how we run it, we're not getting the full story. And I think Tracy had touched on it a little earlier. What we don't know is what their relationship was before the baby was born. What we don't know is what their history might have been. What we do know now is Jessie's been her friend for years. So perhaps Jessie has seen or experienced issues with that relationship prior to. So Jesse might not have her hands clean, but his hands may not be clean either. Because if you've ever been around or read the stories or heard the stories of an abusive man, a lot of times he can make it sound just like this one.
But that's fine.
So that's
but
what I'm saying.
We can only base what we're talking about right now based on what this guy is saying. We can't go, but he could have been a wife beater before she got pregnant. We could add anything to.
He cheated on her several times during the relationship. So if he cheats once, he's always a cheater.
Y'all.
Come
y'all
on,
being real convenient with it though. I get
we're
it.
Not being convenient.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Because
we're not being convenient. How are we being convenient?
You're being convenient because we alliterate things all the time with these situations. But with this situation here, well, what about the parents? Like the question that was asked, did you talk to the parents about it? Because he's about to freeze somebody out of a situation as though he has full rights.
He's her spouse.
That is his spouse. But guess who else is involved in this scenario? Her biological parents, the ones who were taking care of her when he left. So, if anything, get with them, and y'all decide what happens with this funeral.
Okay, so since we're gonna add stuff to the story, we're gonna.
I just stopped that, and I went back to what y'all want to do. Y'all want to go back to what was just in there? That's what I just did.
Okay, well, I'm saying we're gonna. So she goes up there.
And says, it was his cheating, and she took it back. He knew she had postpartum, and he cheated on her anyway. And then
so we are adding stuff. Okay,
she's died. Now what?
So we are adding stuff. Okay, you just said we weren't, but okay.
No, but what Mama is saying is you don't know what she's gonna say.
We don't know what happened in the future. We don't know what he was before she got pregnant. We don't know.
Cool. So okay, I'm with you.
We don't know what she's gonna say at the funeral.
But check this out though. When I said that, what did y'all say? Well, y'all talking about, hey, I'm adding stuff. We can do what else all day long, right? So what did I do? I honored what you said, and I backtracked that out and went strictly with what the story is. And then, so even having done exactly what you asked me to do, you then went back and did what you told me I shouldn't have done.
All we're saying is that we don't know what she's going to say.
So funny,
okay,
yo.
So let's just do this. Because I know I really
tell the parent-in-laws where they could go. Basically,
he needs to sit down with the parents and
tell like them this is what she did.
Going on. This is what's going on before you jump into that was the childhood friend and she needs to be. You need to give her, because obviously something happened. You didn't. The husband didn't up and decide, I'm going to take the child, move it to my parents' house because I just felt like it. But
she left the baby by herself.
I really don't think he told the parents what happened.
No,
I really do not think,
because they would have been like, she did what? She left the baby. This is okay if this story is true. She left the baby all alone while Jesse, the douchebag friend, what was Jesse doing? She's not a friend. She would have been like, girl, you can't leave a baby. You can't leave a baby by the babysitter. No, I'm not taking you. No, we're going to sit here together with this baby. No, that's not a friend. She's convenient.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with this. I don't want to add anything to it, but I can't help to think that's going to be in the back of my head.
In the back of my mind, what's she going to say?
Up there, that she's going to blurt that out. And now he's going to have to be the one, because nobody sees the first shot, everybody sees the second one. So if she goes up there and he was cheating, which made it worse, which is why she did what she did, and he comes back and go, no, Jesse, you did this and you did this and you did this. What are the odds that everybody going to go, oh, now you trying to cover up, now you're lying, now you go. It's an age-old statement that they say in football all the time. Nobody ever sees the first punch in a football fight. Nobody ever sees the first punch. Everybody sees the second one.
Everybody sees the reaction. Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
and she's already proven that she has the gift of exaggeration. She exaggerates. Oh, he must have deleted it. How you know? How is he cheating with you? Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
If Jesse was such a good friend, she wouldn't have lied and
Thank you. She
intentionally.
wouldn't have drove that friend in the car. She'd be like, go take care of your baby. I'm not going to take you in the car.
I agree with Diaz and Tracy because I think the same thing. He could leave quietly while she.
He could, but I'm thinking like, well, wait a minute, because what could she say though? Because she'd get up there and be crazy.
She could, and you can try your best to anticipate and control what another person's gonna say.
She can speak.
Good luck with that
He
track.
needs to sit down with the parents and
Tell them, be like, look.
That's the only. That's my point. My point is, I just pull back whenever someone like the birth of babies, weddings, and funerals are some of the most contentious and emotionally charged events in your life. And I just don't have a good feeling, no matter your reasons, for one person to just dictate the entire flow, especially when you're talking about a situation involving grief. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long were they separated? We didn't really get that, right? We know that from what he said, he has a good relationship with his in-laws. Well, if you have a good relationship with your in-laws, then you need to have that conversation, because I'm not minimizing your ownership, if you will, of the situation because it's your spouse, but you don't get carte blanche over her living parents. You know, like, this ain't all about you, homie. So, okay, the friend, you got your feelings about the friend. Make sure you, however you wish to present it to your in-laws, so that y'all can come with an agreement between the two of you, because you're the only two that really matter here as far as how the funeral goes, right? Your spouse is gone, okay? All the spectators and extra family members that matter, but they don't matter to the decision. But you, I feel like you do not have the right to just make the complete decision minus her surviving parents.
I'm gonna disagree.
I have
because
to.
I have to disagree
I have
because
to disagree on
he
that.
he is the legally. I'm not talking about
Okay, we're going legally.
whatever
That's
you
cool.
believe.
Talking about functionally,
Legally, biblically, every way says that he has absolutely the right to say what goes on at that funeral, and the parents. Yes, he should discuss it with them. Like, this is what I want to happen. This is who I want to speak. This is who I don't want to speak. Be like, okay, that's cool. But for them to just say, "Oh, she's speaking," nah,
that's not what I said. I said he
And
needs to work with
I'll
it.
even go a little deeper.
no, but it's
Because
his ultimate decision since they were still married at the time.
Okay, so what if he was abusive
something happens
or
to the
allegedly
wife where
abusive?
she
I mean,
is
I know we're going on another
incapacitated.
path, but
Hold on. If something happens to the wife where she's incapacitated and they have to do a certain surgery, and he has, who are they going to go to?
They're not
to
going to
make
go
that
to
final
the parents.
decision?
They're
They're
going
not
right
going
to
to go
him.
to the living
They're
parent.
going to be like,
They're going to go to
hey,
the spouse.
spouse, what you think should be doing? They
What
not
should
going
we
to the
be
parents.
doing?
Period.
The parents can put their 2 cents into it and should. Don't be an a-hole and go, I ain't listening to y'all. I get that.
Like, we're talking past each
the
other.
result could be the spouse.
I agree. I mean, according to the law, you got the ability, you got the right according to the law. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not debating that. What I'm saying is that all you care about? Is that all you run things by? No. But you run things through a relationship model. It's the law. There's what you can do, right? And then there's your customs and your family and all the other considerations that follow into it, which shifts it into what you might need to do, right? People who just say, well, the law says I can do this or the law says I can do that, them some dangerous folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, you can, but should you?
And
You
like I
gotta
said,
act with your own
I'm
discretion.
gonna agree with Mickey.
That's the
I got
only
to agree
thing
with
that's
Mickey.
still
She
popping
could.
in my head.
She could also get up there and say that rainbows are made of Skittles.
And it is. But my point is that this woman can go up there and just, okay, if you're willing to decimate this woman that you know going through some things while she's alive,
Postpartum.
You're
and
attributing.
you don't think she has a
you're
problem doing it
attributing
when she don't have
malintent.
anybody that's going to push back on her other than the
And
spouse
she's
that
got
she
people
already done
looking at
said
her.
was cheating on her?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I mean,
Okay.
no.
That's cool.
She's already exhibited, she has, like I said before, a gift of exaggeration. She literally phantomed a whole affair. And even when he showed proof, which I wouldn't have, I'd have been like, how dare you question me? You don't even live here. But that's me. She still was like, oh, he deleted the text. Oh, he talked to sit down.
This woman is a shrewd manipulator.
See, I don't know. I guess
this
I'm not
whole
putting
thing.
as much weight
I don't want no
on
friends
the
like
story
Jesse.
as,
I don't
as
need no
y'all are.
friends like Jesse.
She played a huge suicide. Yeah.
I push back a little bit there too, because when it comes to, you know, self-selecting on your life, there's a lot of factors that go into that. But
here's the deal, Theus. Here's the
What?
deal. Because I'm going to shut you down real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to shut you down real quick. Foxy done already agreed with everybody except you. And since you always like to agree with everything that Foxy says, regardless of even hear what she says, this conversation is over.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's your show, and you can certainly make that call.
You agree with everything, Foxy. I'm just playing. No, that's not. This was something.
I guess,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying nobody else has, but I've been touched by suicide. I've also contemplated it once in my life. So
I have to.
I'm coming at it a little bit different there. And then I've seen messy ass family members where you separated from your spouse. And it's been a while. Like, it ain't like you been separated for like a month. Y'all separated. But then the spouse passes away, you get the insurance money, and you decide you're going to basically freeze out the whole family because you ain't like how the family treated you when y'all were together. And you just going to do this because this is your wife and you got the ability to do it. I've literally seen it. So that does color my view a little bit. That's why I throw a few nuances in there from that
She wouldn't be speaking. I don't care what she said. I don't care what she did. I don't care how badly she No, here's what you do. You get to speak at the wake. When we at the wake, you can talk all
I thought that's
day.
what they were talking about.
Speaking at the wake?
No, the wake is like where you eat the food and you just sit around.
Why
and
would
chat.
you let it talk there? It's the same damage.
Because it don't count.
It's the same
No,
damage.
it's a different. Awake is different.
It
than
is
a funeral.
not.
It's
the
different
same
than a funeral.
people at both. You at gravesite or you at the
No, it's
fellowship
different.
hall. It's the
different.
same people.
It's
you
different.
Still saying the same thing.
Nope, it's different.
That is there is the difference without distinction.
Okay, the repast is where you eat. The wake is where you look at the body, and the funeral, of course, is the funeral. It's three things for Black people.
Yeah.
Nobody speaks at a wake or a Passover, so it's the equivalent of
not
saying
Passover. This ain't Easter time. No,
I mean passing.
I don't know all the terms. I know the stages. Like, you got the time when you go to the funeral home for the viewing, and everybody, you got that thing. And then you have the actual like viewing, like prior to the gravesite thing, which is kind of like the first one, but this one where more people are able to be there beyond just family. And then you have the graveside, right? And then after that, of course, we're gonna eat. So we go have the fellowship hall. I call it fellowship hall. I know it's a real name to it, but I don't know the name. You go to fellowship
Oh,
hall.
I'm still
or
calling
you
it
go
the
to
kitchen.
the family house and you know,
or you go to somebody's house.
Yeah, you go to somebody's house or do like we did, just go to the store, get something, and then
You
come
always
home.
get that one
I
cousin.
don't even think we had a
that
fellowship
cook.
dinner like with my father. I don't think we did that. We were just like, okay, let's go home.
You always have that one person that brings.
Yeah, it depends. Like sometimes you go to a fellowship hall. At least in my experience, sometimes you go to fellowship hall because you're at the church, right? Like you go back to the church, or you go to the family house.
Yeah, one or the two.
Yeah,
but she wouldn't be speaking at nothing.
All right.
Because she messy.
Y'all check on
Anna? I'm going to in a minute. So let's go ahead and get it started. Get this old out the way.
Is Anna okay?
Yeah. Yep. Worst of the year nomination. This nomination is by Theus. I did think I would find it. I did find it. I did hear it again, and it was like, again, I was doing a Tracy thing where I was like, it was really that. Yeah, it was that bad.
Am I the butthole for refusing to give my father the house that my grandmother left me? Well, OP, I can tell you before I even read this post, the answer is no, but let's get into it anyways. Some important context. My father left me when I was 10. What? I came home from school one day and he was gone and I was alone. What? What? Okay. OP, now the answer is still no, but now it's been upgraded to like a mega no, a super plus no, an extra strength no, you're not the butthole. But still, let's get into this post anyways. My grandmother eventually took me in, but that moment gave me issues that I'm still working through. My grandmother passed away and was buried a couple of weeks ago. I saw my father for the first time in 14 years at his mother's funeral. After the will was read, we learned that my grandmother had left me her property. My father was furious. Apparently, he feels that he has more rights to her property than I do because she was his mother. He's been harassing me to hand over the property to him and promising that when he dies, I can have it. I don't want to give him the property because if my grandmother wanted him to have it, then she would have put it in her will. My father's been going around telling the family that I stole his mother's property right from under him, and I'm trying to punish him for leaving me. My family's been reaching out to me, telling me that even though my father abandoned me, I shouldn't forget the importance of family loyalty, and how being good to my father, even if he isn't good to me, is what makes a good daughter. I don't think that I'm doing anything wrong, but the comments are beginning to wear me down. Am I the butthole?
Nope.
No, there'd be some things that have to happen to him. And that's your baby. I mean, I know you don't see her as being your baby. But
he left the child when she was 10.
I got 3 days to say about this, and then I'll let it go. Number one. So you haven't seen your daughter in 14 years. The first time you saw her was at the funeral. So am I to think that you haven't seen your mom in 14 years?
That's what I'm thinking.
Sound like to me.
I don't even know what the shock value of all of this is going on here. So yeah, that's one. 2, the family, the extended family, whoever it is, y'all a joke. I ain't even trying to be mean. I'm going by you a joke by the statement that you made of, I know he abandoned you, but family loyalty. I'm like, wait, what? When do the family loyalty kick in? 14 years later? I'm so confused at what exactly is going
that's that
on
forgiveness
here.
crap.
And number 3, back to the father. He's going around telling everybody he stole the house from me. Really?
It wasn't yours in the first place.
Let's analyze your statement. I keep saying he. She stole the house from you. And it only took her 14 years to do so. 14 years.
It's a master plan.
That was you talk about the long con. 14 years. There's not a con on the face of the planet that takes 14 years, over a decade.
Well, first she had to convince her father to abandon her.
Yep, that was the first step.
That's the first, yeah.
At 10
And
years
then she had to manipulate her grandmother at 10 years old into living with her. And then she had to probably
for 14 years.
Yeah, for the next 14 years, she did little favors like washing the dishes, keeping her room clean, making good grades in school.
being a rebellious child when it was the right time to do so.
Yeah, all those, normal things. This father, he's still not worse than the one last week. The one last week, I'm like, this is the winner. But this one is a good, solid number 3. Because this is not the worst one I've seen.
It's up there.
It's up there.
Yeah, because at least she had a loving grandparent who was able to step in.
Thank goodness.
But that's not a star on his chest because he didn't plan for that.
He just left.
He didn't decide, you know what? I'm not capable of being a good father to my child, and I'm going to make the responsible decision. Mom, I need you to take this over. I'm just not up to the task. That's bad enough, but at least that's putting your child ahead of yourself.
At least if he says, hey, I'm not capable of being a father. Okay, yeah. He admitted he's not. No, this nitwit, he just showed it. He just showed it. He was like, yep, if being a father was a bad person, bingo.
And the grandma was there. The grandma was there. That's what irks me so much about this dude was even if you didn't have the balls to sit there and say, I want to be a father anymore. I just don't want to be a father anymore. I don't want to take care of the child anymore. I want to live free and all this other stuff. Whatever, dude. You don't have an excuse with me why you did that. But whatever. You want to. Hey, Mom, I'm just telling you, I can't deal with it no more. Can you take her? You didn't think a damn thing about your daughter.
Just left.
Not a damn thing about her at all. You just up and left. And now you're coming bitching about a house who I don't know all the information, but when you said it, you ain't seen in 14 years.
And obviously the grandmother didn't want him to have the house because she didn't live it.
That was her decision.
She could have left it to the community center if she wanted to. And that family is surely trifling. They need to keep that. Didn't nobody ask them for their opinion? I'd be like, don't call me. Keep on calling me. You're going to get blocked because blocking you blesses me.
I like that one.
I like that one. I thought about that on a lot of stuff. Like, I don't have to take your call. I really don't. I mean, I already know, especially when the husband and wife have an issue and, I'm going by the husband point of view, okay? And the husband says something, but my wife's family is calling me saying that I'm the a-hole and blah, blah, but I keep wanting to go,
stop answering the phone,
of course
dummy.
they are. It's the wife's family. Of course they're going to say that, dude.
But it's bad.
After like the second call, you kind of should know.
But it's bad when your family says that you are the a-hole. Yeah, that's when you got problems.
But this family right here, I know about family loyalty, but what?
Sure, he left you, abandoned you, shrieked his responsibilities, but loyalty. Now, loyalty.
No.
Loyalty my behind. No.
Loyalty ended in this family 14 years ago.
There's a difference, and I always preach forgiveness, and even though I'm dressed like a witch, I still say forgive. But she ain't got to give him that house. I
don't forgive you. You ain't getting this house, though.
No, I'm with you. God gives second chances. I might not. So,
like, no, you can live in that little trailer, which he probably lives in. Because he's like, oh, this is my house.
But going
back to that woman you left me to go be with. How about that? You decided you wanted to go run the streets instead of being a dad. Go on back out there to the streets. Go on out there.
You weren't concerned about me for 14 years. You weren't concerned
Or your
about your
mother.
mama for 14 years. You weren't concerned about this house for 14 years. Either by arrogance, thinking that because blood is the same blood running through your veins, the same blood that's running through her veins, you go up and get the house.
But that's some people that think they're gonna get mama house by osmosis. If I just hold out there long enough, it'll be mine.
Yeah, she'll croak soon enough.
Yep. Okay.
And she knew he was trifling. She knew he was trifling. That's why she didn't leave him the house. He never thought of that.
Well, he ain't gonna think about it like that. He's a selfish
Think
person.
about it like that. He Tracy.
Everything's about him.
What I have learned from listening to these stories over and over again, there are family members that you love because they are family members.
Yep.
There are family members that you love because they are commodities.
Man, I got a friend. He told me this one time when I was younger. He was like, "Blood is thicker than water, but which one you want to drink?"
Ain't that it?
Mm.
Because sometimes some of us got some families, we like, nah, I just love you across the street. You stay on that side of the street, and I'm going to stay over here on my side.
Because every bad, selfish, knucklehead, violent, destructive, all them people, that's somebody's family member.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you were assigned to me. Sometimes my friends are better than my family because my friends chose to be with me. You were assigned to me.
Basically.
I don't have to, and this is the deal. And I don't have to at a certain age, at a certain level of your life, when you have, and I'm speaking for me, okay, not everybody. I got a wife, I got kids, I got a house, I got a car, and I got a job. I ain't got to deal with you. You don't add a value to me knowing you being in my life. You
oh my gosh. Were you on the conversation me and my sister had? Because we was talking about the same thing. We were talking about when we were little, because we were so poor. We always had to live at family members' houses because we were just that poor. And then we were like, it's time to break that cycle. But lo and behold, we got them few family members, which I ain't gonna call their name. Well, when you was little, that was when I was a child. My mother was over me. My mother was your. See, I can do stuff on my own now.
Yeah.
Mama did the best that she could, but guess what? I ain't Mama. I'm Tracy.
I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but you make me be rude when you constantly keep pushing it. And I'm saying this just to say it. I honestly don't have a family member on my side or their side that I feel this way about. Now, there's some that just like, I have no problem with you. But there's no person that I'm just going out of my way going, man, you know what? Y'all getting on my nerves. I'm out. I don't have nobody like that.
Ooh,
and
boy,
luckily, I didn't marry into a family like that.
Oh, boy.
I definitely won the family Olympics because my family, like Marlon's saying, it doesn't really apply to me. And if I got family like that, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't close to them like that. I'm the one that got the family.
I'm like, oh, my goodness.
And Foxy has an issue with me saying this, but I feel this way. Do you know cousin such and such down and whatever? No. Well, you need to get to know them. No.
Why?
I don't. I'm not taking any more cousin applications. I'm sorry. I've gone this far. 50 years. Hey, you know what? I ain't got no bad will against you, but hey, for what? What am I doing? What we doing here?
Marlon on some no new friends.
I don't need no cousins. I don't went 50 years without knowing you. We cousins? Cool.
See you at the family reunion.
And even when I see you, I still don't know who the hell you are. So yeah. And you live in a state like you live 3-4 states from me. So get to know them for what? I don't understand why we going through. I put more effort in knowing them than not. So no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah.
I never would have found the
Can
words
I
to put
come
it
live
that
with
way,
you?
but
Can I
I
come
dig
live
it.
with you for
No.
the next 6 months? Because when you was little, no, you can't.
Yeah, ain't nobody. I love you. Ain't nobody coming back in this house. Anna, I am bringing you back on the show because I know what the next video
And
is
I
going
can
to
take this
do.
hat off if it
Yes,
bothers
you
you.
can take this hat off.
No, I'm saying if it bothers Anna.
No.
Oh, okay.
Say it bothers
And
you.
we can
Anyway,
hear you, Marlon. Wait until you see my costume tomorrow. That's me in a sentence.
And I don't know what it was that I may have said to upset you, but I do
Right?
apologize for upsetting you.
Yeah,
it
we
was
don't want to do
the
that at all.
situation. It's rough, but I needed to bring you back on, Anna. We're gonna move
I
on.
would really like to ask next time if there is going to be an unaliving. Can we have a trigger warning that
Yep,
Yeah, that
yep.
would be a good idea
that
because
hit really? I wasn't ready for it.
I apologize to
I
you
I
and
apologize.
to everybody else. See, I said a long time ago that I need to start saying warnings. And everybody, no, don't do it. Just play the video. That's not.
your
No,
first
I'm
intuition is
going back
always your
to
best
going.
one.
There is going to start from this point on. There's going to be a trigger warning or viewer discretion advised. So I'm bringing Anna on, and I'm giving everybody a fair warning. Viewer discretion advised.
Excuse me.
So please prepare yourself. But I really feel like this is something that has to be done on this show. So let's just get, as a community, as a family on here, let's get through it together, okay? Linda Parson, everybody.
Hey, Utah District 12, listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution. I tried to get another conservative to run. Nobody could do it, so I'm getting it done. I'm pro-religious freedom, pro-life, pro-police, the right to bear arms and the right to free speech. I want less government control and regulation, want to stop and expose all political corruption. Where's integrity, morality, accountability? Government programs should lead to self-sufficiency and support traditional family as the fundamental unit of society. But in schools, they're pushing for new beliefs. And just to clarify, as a female adult, I know what a woman is. I love this country. It's a blessing to be free, but freedom comes with responsibility. The Constitution needs to be protected, not changed or disregarded, but resurrected. If you share my values, if you like what I stand for, then give me your vote on the 8th of November. District 12 needs a choice. Let me be your voice, Linda Paulson. Linda Paulson for Senate.
You know, I could say many things, but I won't.
I disagree with this being a worst of the year nomination. This is one of
Was
the best,
worst of your
one of
nomination.
the best ever because it has Easter eggs in it. Like I didn't even like I laughed last time when she said, but resurrected. But there's a little Easter egg in that because that was her tying white identity politics with Christianity.
Don't you
With
put us in this
conservatism.
mess. Don't you put us in this mess.
Why?
This
That's what it was. But they put it all together and created that new Bible thing they got. And then the other thing was, I have yet, like, maybe I keep missing it, but each time one of these weird people say, and I know what a woman is, or define a woman, make them define it.
They don't know.
It doesn't matter whether they know, make them say it. Because what they're going to say is a woman is, born genetically with whatever the chromosomes are with a uterus at birth. That's what they're going to say.
XX.
Right? Okay, thank you. That's what they're going to say. But make them say it. Make them say it. That's the problem that the people on the left keep falling into the trap of, is we just try to defend it, or we try to put out our version of an answer. Well, if you try to define a woman on our side of the table, that's going to be a long statement. So make them say it. Make them say it.
I just want to know who told her to rap. Who?
One of them children in that picture.
Who sat there and told her, you know what you should do? Sure, Utah has 3 black people in the whole state. What you should do is to rap badly.
We don't own rap.
I didn't say we did. Eminem's a great rapper.
We don't own rap. We own good rap, but we don't own rap. But the deal is this.
Racist.
This is the deal with Linda Parson.
She's not going to win, thank goodness.
Well, she will win. She's in Utah.
She's nowhere near it.
The Democratic is beating her to a, yes, thank you.
These are both polls, so we'll see. I don't trust none of the polls. I hate that the polls always get so much airplay and all that, because it just gets people spun up, because like I heard somebody say earlier today, I can't remember what podcast I was watching, but I mean, they're doing these things off of sample sizes of 1,000 here, or maybe 2,000 there, maybe. And then they're extrapolating that to say what everybody else is doing. And it's like, that's garbage. That's garbage.
Well, it's hard to survey 330 million people.
It is, but what I'm saying is it's still garbage, because what they don't do is give you the makeup of who it is that they're polling. And then if you watch these things on CNN, MSNBC, whatever your channel of choice is, it's almost always an all black panel or an all white panel. It's like they don't go and really get a young, they don't differentiate on age and gender identity and sexual preference, and they don't get a real mix or multiple mixes. They don't do that. So that's why I'm like, all the polls are just, we'll see what happens. The best thing you can do is just try to.
I just want to know whoever told her to rap should be fired. I said that in the previous time I saw her. I'm going to say it this time.
It's a cute
That was
whoever told her
to do that crap.
Whoever told her to do that, fire them. Whoever filmed her doing that, she probably used her phone. Let me shut up. She probably used her cell phone.
No, she ain't used her phone. No, she don't know how to do that.
Whoa, that was somebody's good camcorder.
Some family member helped her with that. That was one of her grandchildren or somebody helped her with that.
And by the way,
responsibility.
I know this is petty. I know this is petty.
But you're gonna say it anyway.
I don't care. But I know this is petty. Boy, that was the palest family I ever seen in my life. They was doggone almost transparent.
Yeah, that's
they was just like,
I'm like, don't the sun shine in Utah?
Party foul.
They were pale.
They ain't got no sun in Utah. What's the deal?
I don't think that was fair game.
They were kind of pale looking though.
I'd be liking somebody about how dark one of us are.
Well, I am fairly dark.
No, you're not. Okay. You're just normal brown color. You ain't dark color.
But
I'm just saying, I don't know.
It gets sun.
Everybody, it depends on where their families hail from, what level of melanin content they come endowed with. Some people ain't gonna tan like that. They did not.
Well, that's why they made it in spray.
So what?
That's why they made it in a spray can.
Spray. Yeah, but that's not who. that spray, that tan spray, from my understanding, I've never used it, is quite not good, and it looks fake when
Oh no
it's
no
put
no
on the
no! You
skin.
just do that. You just do that. It lasts about a week or a weekend at the most,
You go
depending on
to
how
a
much you
tanning
spend.
bed and then you almost give yourself cancer. That's the best way to do it, according to people who I know tan a lot.
Wow, this just went dark. Foxy's
Yeah.
videos of the week.
Mm-mm.
You know, things at this point in time, I actually don't care when I'm wrong, so you can blame me.
Wait, what I do?
You talk about that's them. That's them. Oh, okay, it's me and Tracy. You pale, you pale. I want to show this video, and I really want a good explanation. What did the guy say wrong?
So we all know that on Earth, there's more water than land.
That's not true.
How so?
There's more land under the water.
Hey,
Mind telling me why you're late to my class?
sorry, heavy traffic.
Is that my fault?
Did I blame you?
He said it, son of a gun. He actually said it.
I should not have said that.
What did he
Well,
say
that
wrong?
that one totally slipped past my head.
It's all about delivery.
That was a good delivery.
Okay.
Okay, I missed that one.
Like the first one, I don't see anything wrong at all with it. It was a fair point.
No, I don't know. That was.
And then the second one is you were literally being a smartass. You came to my class late.
Yep, it's my class.
And you started off that conversation being okay. No, I'm late. Why was you late? I gave you the answer of why I was late. You come back being a smart ass with, is that my problem? Did I blame you that it's your problem? See, you're gonna get tit for tat with me. You could have said, "Oh well."
I can't engage in that level.
That's just like
to me, that's childish behavior.
Yeah, that's childish. You can't do.
We're gonna get into engagement of being a professional.
You chose not to be a professional.
Just apologize for being late and stop being late.
Sit down. Yeah.
He said I was late because of traffic. Okay. That guy could have came back and said, okay, well, we would need to discuss this after class. So you already broke we ain't being professional anymore from this point on because you got to be the Billy Badass. Is that my fault?
You always got a choice in how you respond.
No, because if as an employer, my employer expects me to be at work at 8 o'clock, even though I work at home. Me oversleeping, that's not their fault that I overslept. It's my fault. Not their problem. That's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So he needs to take responsibility for him being late. Traffic. You knew traffic was going to be bad. Leave early.
Okay. And that would have been great to discuss after class.
No, he was being disrespectful to the teacher.
He was being disrespectful. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, if I said something, kind of flip it to you like, was that my fault? And then you say, did I blame you? I said, no, you didn't. And in fact, we'll have a conversation about that after class. And then you wouldn't be in my class no more. Good luck finishing your credits. Okay. I don't give a flip.
You know what? I
don't give a flip.
At this
my class, you're gonna be disrespectful. You're gonna be on time.
This is my class. This is not. We are not equals. We are not peers.
No. I agree with you, Theus. We are not equals because apparently, we have to have the dynamic of you are in charge of the class by putting me down.
You didn't put him down.
You decided to come to my class late.
Yeah, if he hadn't been late, that would have never happened.
I didn't decide to come into your class late. It ain't like I got to the classroom, looked at the time. Oh, it's 8:30. I'll sit outside for a few minutes so I can walk in late. No,
I don't care what your reason was. You got to my class late.
I apologize. I came to your class.
Here's all he would have had to say was, "I apologize for being late. It won't happen again." He could have just stopped the sentence right there. I
cool.
apologize
But my
for
thing
being
is this:
late.
everybody has a decision on how they wish to respond, and if you choose to respond to someone being petty to you by being petty back, then you just got to deal with the escalation that comes from it. And now you the one sitting here because you decided to be flippant with the teacher because the teacher was flipped with you. Now you end up losing credit, so you got problems in class, or now he's not going to be all that helpful to you when you need help. All these things are spiraling out of your decision as the student, because you are not the equal, you're not the peer. You decided that, you know what, I'm going to exchange petty for petty. All right, cool.
All you
That's
had to do
grown
was
up
say,
decision. Let's do it.
I'm sorry for being late. It wouldn't have
That'd
taken
be
that
like my
much
kid
effort.
coming home and I'm like, why are you late? Oh, there was traffic, Dad. Is that my problem? Did I blame you? Oh.
Okay, let's
Your children have a curfew
roll
now?
this back. Let's just roll.
Well, my children
back.
are young. They definitely they don't have a curfew because they can't go nowhere.
Let's just roll.
That's
this
why I was
back.
like, they old enough to be out by themselves like that.
I agree. I want to go back and just roll this back a little bit because I really feel like conversations is a through way of understanding each other. That's what communication is for, to understand you, to understand me. So please explain to me what the professor or whatever was to gain from saying, was that my fault?
Oh, I can explain that.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying it was the proper response, but I am going to say this. I have seen many classroom management styles that show if you're going to be disruptive, if you're going to be late, or you're not going to come prepared, you will be made an example of. Because when I make an example of you, when I pull you to the carpet, as they say, because that's like a public embarrassment moment, it's also for everybody else in the room. See, because I have to make sure that I'm controlling this tempo. You don't want to be this guy, right? See this guy right here who walked in my classroom, thought he could just quietly walk in late and go sit down. You don't want to be this guy, right? So I'm gonna make an example of you every single time you come up in my classroom. I'm gonna do it to you. I'm gonna do it to Mary. I'm gonna do it to Kim. It don't matter. So it's like I've been in those classes, and I've also been in work environments where people get pulled to the carpet. I don't like that. I don't like it, right? I don't think it's the best way overall to manage a situation. But there is I view a difference in power based on the situation. And sometimes your boss gonna say or do things that's not the best way for him to say or do things to you. And you got to suck it up and deal with it because there's a power imbalance. You doing the same thing with the school situation. It's a power imbalance. That's how I view it anyway. The onus to be perfect is not on the one who's in charge.
So when I be hearing these stories of imbalances and the boss / professor, people in charge, whatever, who done lost their clock picking mind because they can say whatever they want to say,
he didn't say nothing that bad.
He just said,
and I don't think the dude said anything bad because the question
he was being smart.
He tried to show up the teacher.
Was I blaming you for me?
He tried to show up the teacher. You saw the reaction?
He said, I shouldn't have said that.
Okay, let me go back a little bit. Here's the deal. When I was in the military, I understood the military point of view was why they yell all the time and everything like that, and why to never take it personal, which
you gonna take
that was kind of iffy because it really depended on who the person that was yelling at you. Some people do it because they're on a power trip and they didn't have any power over you to begin with, but that's an entirely different story. The people who had power over you and your flight and everything else, over your unit. I'm trying to clean this up. And there was a reason why when you're in a 50 airman line and they're yelling at the top of their lungs at what you did wrong, going by Theus's point is true. They're yelling at the top of their lungs so everybody in the line can hear you. What you did wrong, so you don't do it. Oh, he's screaming at somebody about what he did. I got to get myself together. The point was doing that was not only so that person that they're yelling at can get their crap together, but he don't want to do that 50 more times. This professor was just being an a-hole. Now,
He wasn't.
fine. You
I
want
disagree.
to do it, you can do it. Whatever. But the same way that this student gonna have to deal with the consequences, teacher gonna have to deal with it that, hey, dude, you're not gonna talk to me any type of way.
Yeah, and what did you get out of that?
It is, so yeah.
I mean, but what do you get out of that? So it's like, I hear what you're saying.
What did the professor get out of saying?
What the professor gets out of that is what you just laid out an example of being an airman. The professor doesn't want to have this conversation with every 20, 30 people in the classroom every other day, where they're like, oh, well, let's talk after class. Oh, well, let's talk after class. Oh, well, let's talk after class. And you're saying that to a different person every day.
Every day, nah.
Right?
That ain't gonna work. No.
You're going to nip it in the bud for everybody.
You be like,
right?
look, don't be late like this person here.
You know what I'm saying? But then you're saying, no, that the way he did it was uncalled for, which I actually agree. The way he said it was uncalled for, but it wasn't that egregious. But you're saying, all right, cool. I'm gonna get my butt on my shoulders and I'm gonna come right back at you, because if you're gonna come at me, I'm gonna come at you. Hey, that's a choice. Do that. But you the one that ends up dealing with the consequences because you can't touch me.
Yeah, because the teacher don't have a job.
Okay,
The
so
teacher
the
is not- the
deal
stu-
is he couldn't come out and say, look, I understand the situation that the traffic is late. Maybe you need to leave a little early, but I need you to you want to be the smart ass in the
you want to have this I'm coming to your class late, and I need you to treat me with the utmost respect and tender care. With me coming in your class late,
at 8 o'clock.
I'm interrupting your message. I'm interrupting their learning. I'm interrupting the schedule you set forth.
And if
I'm
he
interrupting
doesn't,
the way you manage your classroom.
No, but Marlon,
sir, I need for you
I have to get
treat
my
me
point
kindly.
across to the classroom by degrading you.
He didn't
He wasn't
degrade him.
degraded.
He was not degrading. Sorry.
Really?
No.
He wasn't degraded.
He had every right
Is that my problem? Is not degrading?
No, it's not.
Why did the professor?
It's sarcastic.
Take it personally.
It's sarcastic, but it wasn't degrading.
I don't see what the professor did wrong.
Take it personally. That's not. How is that my problem?
How is it? If you
either
you're gonna take it as he's being sarcastic, letting you know that, yo, that's not my problem. If you had traffic, everybody in this room had traffic.
Everybody in the room had traffic, and yes, still made it on time. He didn't. So
you can take it
check
that
the
way.
traffic, leave early, don't be late to my class no more. Period.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And I've done some classroom stuff, and I'm serious, man. I'm not gonna have an individual high-level conversation on your time.
No,
on your time. You are on my time.
I'm the one who gives out the grades.
Time?
Nah. You don't give out your own grades, little Tommy. Nope.
I just feel some type of way.
They're like coming into a staff meeting late and being like, hey, sorry, boss. I had bad traffic. Is that my problem? Nah, it ain't your problem. It's about to be. What? Who you? Man, you fired. Go tell your wife that you ain't got no job. You fired. What you not gonna do is talk to me like I'm somebody off the street. Well, you ain't here acting like you somebody off the street, so why don't you go back to the street? Bye.
Security.
Go ahead and hand me your badge. You don't even gotta hand it out when you get it. You can hand me your badge.
Yeah, because if he does it and he lets that student get away with it, then the next student gonna be like, well, he got away with it. Watch me try it.
And it's gonna happen over
and then it's gonna be a difference. Nope, you get that stuff right, you nip it right in the bud.
And once you lose control,
you ain't never getting it back.
Group, you don't get to lose control of a group and get it back. That doesn't happen.
This ain't lean on me.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Y'all was supposed to laugh at that.
I mean, I like Joe Clark. I don't know about putting the locks on the doors, but I get why he did it.
I'll be honest with you. I would go back to what I was saying. That literally was the only thing I had an issue with. The whole movie.
Yeah, that was the only problem. Like,
don't put chains on the doors.
Don't put
That's
chains.
This ain't. And you can't even. You, Joe Clark, Big Joe Clark. You couldn't even handle a fire break.
I think the real Joe Clark, did he say that really happened?
I get the reason why you did it. I get the
you had to keep the drug dealers out.
Reasoning was not going to help if there is a real emergency.
Right.
And everybody keeps saying a fire. And I say lower the standard. It ain't even lower the standard. What if somebody needed medical attention and needed to be evacuated to the hospital quickly? We ain't got time to find you, bro.
And the keys. And you can't unlock them. And you know when the keys supposed to work, it don't.
It wasn't the best decision for running a school. However, it was the best decision for the situation he was in. Because anything else, there's like literally no other options he would have. Because if he went and locked the doors, well, they have the push bar, so they release from the inside. So you got all these knuckleheads running around your school. They just gonna open the door. That's what they've been doing. That's why you put the chains on the door. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there was no right answer for him. There was no right answer. He did what he did. And then like to say that was the only problem. What about when he had old boy up at the top of the thing? Like, well, you gonna jump.
He was using reverse psychology.
He still had a child on the roof.
But did the child jump?
If you gonna
did
die,
the child jump? Did the child
No, he didn't.
jump?
But I think
fire
happened in the school. No.
I get what you're saying, but I kind of think that he already knew because you do realize out of all those kids he threw out, if you remember at the beginning of the movie, he threw a whole bunch of freaking kids out of that school, and
he
that
saw
was
something
the only
in him.
kid that showed back up. So I think he already, figured out that hey, this
a lot
kid.
of those things are fictionalized because you would never get away with that in a real school.
That's my point.
Because
the thing is, he saw something. He saw
the
something
principal
in that
tells
young
a
man.
child to jump if they really want to jump. Oh no, he gone.
He saw something in that young man, and he was willing to invest in that young man.
Yeah,
he took him on like a father figure, and that's something it's tough love, but that's something I could see me or any other father figure might go somewhere along that route to get you to wake up, boy, wake up, right? But he was still the principal on the roof with a student. So,
telling him to jump. But did he jump? That's my question.
No, he didn't.
Did he jump?
No, he didn't.
Psychology.
But like in the 80s, when this happened, it would have been what it was. If you try that mess today, that family got like $20 million from the school system. And the boy's still on drugs.
The super sensitive parents we got running around.
Money.
Not these helicopter parents. Nope. That's just like that movie with Michelle Pfeiffer where she was in that bad school.
Oh, you talking about that was true. I'm not here to save you. I'm here for you to save me. Let's dance.
Yes, the real teacher that was based on was like half of that stuff never happened.
What movie was this?
What?
What was that? Something
Higher Learning? I want to say Higher Learning so bad.
No, not Higher Learning.
I know Higher Learning. That was a god awful movie.
Higher Learning was a good movie.
Bad
acting, but it was a good movie.
Terrible movie.
It was one of the movies I had no business. I'm glad I saw it late at night in my dorm room because we had like the campus movie channel, and I had never seen it before. And it came on, and I watched it. It was like 2:00 in the morning.
Are you talking like the song "Gangster's Paradise"?
Yes, song "Gangster's Paradise." That's where it came from. I thought that was truly Higher Learning.
No,
I really
did. Something Minds.
Higher Learning was the
Dangerous Minds.
Dangerous Minds. That might be it.
Okay, I didn't watch it, but okay.
The movie wasn't good. I mean, you knew that old boy was gonna die.
I saw the way I know it's not Higher Learning because I saw that in the military when we had our first and only leave because our troop was just that bad. And that's when we went to see Higher Learning. I went, oh, I really kind of wish I'd have kept my money from this one because this is terrible. What
was that movie about?
Ooh. I never watched
it. Movie about Dangerous
Higher
Minds?
Learning. No, I know
Higher Learning.
Higher Learning was a college campus. Omar Epps.
You just stop right there. Stop right there. You said Omar Epps. It can't be good. It can't be good.
On now.
Omar, no.
Well,
no.
I'm not. I'm sorry. Your taste in movies is not the same as most others.
No.
So
if you want to talk about plays, we'll listen to you. Your movie taste is just
especially when it comes to like nostalgic black films.
I haven't seen most of them. I'm like, I haven't seen like 90% of them. I finally saw Love and Basketball. I was like, why did I watch this
Tell you
terrible
what
movie?
movie. I'm gonna tell you one nostalgia movie that even as a
Yeah,
young
and
kid, I find out was terribly overrated and should have never been made. But whatever. Superfly.
Well, those
Was
were black exploitation films. I didn't
yeah,
watch those
those were
either.
all
no.
terrible.
I get that, but the whole premise of it, and Anna, this literally was the premise of the movie. All old heads could argue with me, but when you break it down, this was the premise. You're tired of being in the ghetto, so your premise is that you're gonna sell enough drugs so you can move out the ghetto.
The end.
The end. That's the premise of Superfly.
And then every other blaxploitation movie copied off of it because it was widely
that or
successful.
pimping?
That was the whole premise. It's like, okay, so for my people, your decision was to actually exploit and make the decision of, hey, the only way you're gonna get out to have a better life
is to sell drugs.
To sell drugs to your people so they can stay in a lot longer. It's like
It's New Jack City.
Go back and look who was bankrolling those films and who was dictating the scripts and all of those things. And it's very plain as day. I don't nobody want to look at it, but it's very plain.
I thought that was written by a black person.
Who financed the movie?
Who wrote?
I thought he self-financed it. I seriously thought he self-financed the movie. Or was that Dolomite that self-financed it?
Not necessarily who wrote it.
Who wrote it and who bankrolled it.
I really thought he bankrolled it himself because Hollywood was like, this is terrible. And then he did it himself and then it became like a...
Perhaps.
I don't know why. I thought
maybe because you know more about the backside of these things than I do. My thing is, I didn't like any of the black exploitation films.
They were all terrible.
Whatever they called them. I understand why they existed because we weren't being given opportunity in their films and in their arenas. And then that's the story that they like to promote about us. So that was a way to get
pimps and harlots
and prostitutes, right?
Yeah.
So that was how we were able to get. That's how we were able to get onto the screen because they weren't letting us on the screen in any of the other roles. We had to be the help, or we had to be destructive to our people. That was it, you know. So I get why it existed. I'm just glad it didn't last too long because great music.
Oh yeah,
but yeah.
Each his own. Man.
It was all that buffoonery I don't like. You know?
Movies. But
gave me Lindsey Graham sitting next to Herschel Walker vibes. How many times can you say black in one interview? He's a African American black
Olympian. How did he turn? I did not know women, but this I didn't know that he's an Olympian.
How did I know he's black?
No, but he was an Olympian. He's an Olympian. He kept saying he's an Olympian. I'm like, what Olympics did he go to?
The Olympics.
What Olympics is it?
It was Lindsey Graham talking. I don't know. He called Herschel Walker. I'm like, what Olympics was he at? Did he just go to the Olympics or was he in the Olympics? He said Olympian.
You know, daggone well, that dude watched the Olympics. And by the way, what's the point of even dealing with this when we talk about a guy who pulled out his little fake cereal box?
Got that thing out of a Cracker Jack box. Literally.
Sheriff / FBI / did he even say who he was with? So yeah.
This is a real badge. I've got nothing to hold to demonstrate my point. This is a real badge. And sure, it looks like it came out of a cereal box. And sure, it means nothing. And sure, it looks like what they used on the set of Andy Griffith's show. But it's real. It's real.
Go look at
the
bag.
Wait, he was an Olympian. He was an Olympian.
He was an Olympian? Oh my gosh.
He had a U.S. Olympic bobsled appearance.
Okay. Did he win?
I don't know about all that, but I'm just saying, somebody said he's big, he's black, and he's strong, and we need people to watch the Winter Olympics. They put him on a bobsled team.
He was a runner. I guarantee you he was the runner.
He had to be. Well, I've been corrected. Herschel Walker was indeed an Olympian.
He was recruited to compete in the sport because of his speed and strength, which made him an excellent pusher.
Yep, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Now I have been corrected. What year?
To 2010.
Really?
1992.
That's when I was a junior in high school.
He came in 7th place.
I was 19 years old when you did.
He came in 7th place. Olympic bobsledder Herschel Walker. Look at that. Go ahead, Herschel. Look at you going down that hill, sliding.
And it'll make the Democrats look stupid because they keep saying we're racist, even though we are.
Look at you, Herschel. You black man in the Winter Olympics. Look at you making history. You were the inspiration for Cool Runnings. Look at you, Herschel.
Oh my God.
He the one knows this. He wrote the script for Cool Runnings based off his own experience.
It's an autobiographical.
Yeah, he wrote the whole script.
You was in the Olympics. You came in 7th?
Hey, better than last.
Hey, he placed. Well, he didn't place, but he was there.
How many people was in it?
Yeah.
I don't know how many people were in the race. It just said 7th, ranked 7th, Albertsville,
Who was
1992.
If there was no 8th place, that means you came in last, bro.
But that means he was just the worst winner.
If you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby.
Look at that. So on behalf of myself, I would say, Herschel, I apologize for doubting your Olympic bona fides.
Apparently, I really didn't think you'd go that low, but okay, I guess.
He also studied mixed martial arts.
He did.
Now, that one, yes, I do know he did study that one. I will give him.
Is it 2-0 or 1-0?
I have no idea.
I may be missing that up.
But if it's 2-0 or 1-0, he ain't really do it then. That's 2 fights. And he would often say he'd do 1,500 push-ups and 2,500 sit-ups daily. Didn't even need weights.
Yeah, that was since college. He never lifted a weight in his
allegedly,
life.
And he never paid those women to have abortions either.
Well, that's also true. Because those people. Oh, Herschel, is it? Are you saying that it didn't happen? What I'm saying is that it's a lie. I'm saying it's a lie. So are you saying it didn't happen? No, what I'm saying is it's a lie.
So did you
He's black.
Did you send the money and the card to a woman? Well, I send a lot of stuff to a lot of people, so I just don't know. I just always like to, because I like to send money to complete strangers for no apparent reason whatsoever, because
I'm a nice guy.
God told me air in China, and we need to come together as a nation
to fight the trees.
To fight the
Russian trees. See, but okay,
the Russian trees, and not the Russian trees, the Ukrainian trees, because the Ukrainian trees is
they belong
Satan,
to Russia
and Satan and
No,
we need to
it's
come
the
together
good air.
as a nation.
It's the bad air in China that traveled to America, and meanwhile, our good air traveled to China. It was an exchange of air.
One nation under Trump, with liberty and justice for whoever we decide that for.
Look, all I'm saying is, okay, Herschel.
Drop out.
Do you know this woman? Yes.
Pull her out of Herschel.
Herschel. Do you know this woman? Yes. I know.
It's 2 of them now. There's 2 women.
Herschel. Were you married at the time that you knew this woman? Yes, I was married. Were you married to this woman? No, I was married to my wife. Okay, Herschel.
Yeah, Herschel, that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how that whole adultery thing works out, bruh. That's the very definition.
That's how that works, Herschel. You're married to your wife.
It's just funny. It's another one of those convenience things where it's like for these weird conservatives, it's like it's New Testament for them, Old Testament for you.
It's simpler than that. All they want is the Senate seat. That's all they want is control of the Senate. Period.
And they go and pick this big, goofy dude. They ever spoke about Jesus was that he was an American.
Yep. And don't get in the. No, I'm not gonna do that one.
You know what? We should ask them sometime. Herschel, was Jesus an American?
Mm-hmm.
Because Lauren Boebert, I think at one point said that Jesus was American. Was it
she
Lauren?
Couldn't have said that and got elected. No.
Lauren say
no
all kind
way.
of dumb stuff.
I have to see. I know she.
Lauren Boebert said some idiotic stuff after her election.
No, but not that. There's no way she could be that stupid. No. I got to see a clip. There's no way I believe that. No. I want to sit and post it on my wall because I can't believe somebody be that stupid. No.
Well, there's also I'm reading this from the Google machine. Mormons also believe that Jesus visited the Americas after his resurrection.
Now that is true. That I do know about the Latter-day Saints.
That's interesting. And I did ask the question, who said Jesus is American? And it says, Jesus was born in Israel of the line of David. So no, Jesus was not American.
But did Lauren Boebert say he was American?
I swear it was her.
It can't be. She can't be that dumb. I mean, I know she's not smart, but
someone said it though.
I'm going to keep constantly looking this up, but she did say Jesus didn't have enough AR-15s to keep his government from killing them.
And of course, they didn't have guns back then. But hey, whatever. Now that I believe she said. But
now, one thing she did say apparently was Jesus didn't have enough AR-15s to save his life.
Marlon just said that to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Marlon.
I'm like, because Marlon was like, but I just.
I heard him.
He was too busy researching.
Yeah, I was busy clicking and
I'm like, there's no way she could be that stupid. That would make her dumber than Margarine Green.
But didn't someone say
I swear somebody said it though.
Why don't you just Google who said Jesus is
I did. It didn't pop up, so I must be mistaken. But I swear I heard it somewhere. Well, I can't prove it, so I take it back.
I got a story.
Oh, wait, no, it's in the Patriot Bible.
No.
Yeah, that could make sense.
Now that makes more sense than Lauren Boebert saying it. I'm like, ain't no way that no. Because evangelicals ain't gonna let her get away with saying that. Even though they want to believe it, but they be like, no. Well, y'all got y'all really researching this. I'm like, I don't remember it. That's got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
I know it was a Family Feud question where they asked people to name a top American, and Jesus was one of the answers. Now I do know that.
One day, 2 missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints came to my house and said that they had an important message for my family. I immediately remembered my previous inquiry and asked them, do you know if Jesus Christ came to be American? One of the young men said, we bear witness to that. At that moment, I felt a great excitement in my mind and heart and asked, how do you know? He took a book out of his bag and said, we know Christ came here because of this book, the Book of Mormons.
Yeah, but that's like coming off of those golden plates that apparently nobody, anyway.
You can't find them. Don't nobody know where they at.
Yeah.
And Joseph Smith got a message and blah, blah, blah. No offense to the Mormons who are watching.
I mean, hey, you want to believe in magic? If you believe in magic, I hope
And
you do. You always have a friend wearing big red shoes. Anything can happen right before your eyes. Whatever you're expecting,
Yes, Mickey,
expect a
she
surprise.
said that, but she didn't say that Jesus was from America. That's my argument.
That's what we were trying to find.
Yeah, I know she said that.
Okay.
But she did.
I apologize.
I don't think
Laura,
she said it.
for making that statement that you said.
Now
that
get your $35 gift card
you're
from
still
Target.
a piece of crap on every freaking thing you've ever said to decimate this country for the attempt of being a corrupt dictator. But for that statement, I apologize. Let's move on. And I don't even know how to even go into great details about this statement other than to say gay insects.
So I made a slide that's a very comprehensive list of which bugs are gay or not, so let's go. Dragonflies, the fact that dragonflies will just like hover in air perfectly still like that, not moving, gay. That requires classical training, you know? Like they went to drama school. Ladybugs, every ladybug is a lesbian. Honestly. Look, they got this bold lipstick right here, but if you zoom in, there's Birkenstocks on every one of these. Beetles, lesbians, that's a strap. Bees, the fact that you're so willing to hurt someone that you would die for it, that's gay. Like, the pettiness that takes.
Okay.
I agree with 1 and 4.
I'm not even sure how to take this.
I agree with 1 and 4. I don't know about the 2 in the middle because I was like,
I've never sat around and thought about the sexual orientation of bugs. That's just not, that's not on the conversational list for me. I didn't see.
Because you're a normal person.
See?
And I'm like,
you gotta think deep.
I'm still trying to figure out about the bees, though.
That's if you willing to die to inflict pain on people.
I don't know any gay person that's willing to die. I'm like, that sound more like
that's a petty trait. That's
I didn't maybe. As a non-gay person, I'm like, is this supposed to be funny? Maybe.
Because I know we're dealing with like stereotypes and stuff. So
some stereotypes are true. I mean,
they're often exaggerated truths, right?
It's always an exaggerated version of the truth.
But I'm thinking of all the gay people I've known in my life.
Yeah, I'm like,
and even I don't know if it's still the proper term, but the flamboyant gay friends that I've had, they not petty though. They silly. You know what I'm saying? They might get out there and say some silly shit. But when it comes to loving on each other and loving other people, they ain't petty on that. They like some of the most loyal folks I ever met in my life. But the bees confuse me. And I swear, when you were about to pitch the video, Marlon, and I think you said gay ant sex, and my brain was like, so the video is going to be about gay and sex. Did he just say gay ant sex? And then the bugs started coming up on the screen. And I'm just like, oh, he said gay ant sex. This man. And then there wasn't no ants. So I feel misled. I was trying to figure out what they were going to use for the ants.
You wanted to know about the ants?
I'm just saying, if you're going to talk about the beetles, let's talk about the ants. I mean, it was called gay ant sex.
I'm sorry.
You ain't say booty bugs.
There is no such thing as booty bugs.
You never seen love bugs, huh? They be attached at the booty.
I'm sorry. This is real?
Love bugs?
Yeah.
You don't get them up in North Carolina?
No.
Man,
I don't even know what a love bug is. I'm like, is that a What is it?
We call them love bugs because
is a real
they attach
thing?
themselves at the thorax and make that way. But they're like everywhere. I don't know if it's spring or summer, but it's like they
beetle flies. I mean, like, what are they?
They look like long ants that can fly. Maybe
no.
I don't know.
See, that's a no. That's where I pull out the rate. No, bugs. Yeah.
What's wrong with bugs?
They're
Bugs
disgusting.
are helper creatures.
They are disgusting.
You get rid of them bees and see what happens to this.
I didn't say get rid of bees,
world.
but I don't like them. If they come near me, I'm a swat.
The only bug.
Yeah, Tracy, Google love bug. You may have actually seen these. It's like a long bug with a red spot.
I don't have time to Google right now. I'm sitting here talking to you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The two bugs I never could figure out why they on this planet. And I get one of them, but
ladybugs.
Mosquitoes is
I'm cool with ladybugs, flies, and mosquitoes. You could
flies serve a purpose, but mosquitoes,
what purpose do flies serve?
They
tell
help
you what
break down. They help break down organic material.
Not fast enough.
Food.
Mosquitoes, all they do is bite you and suck your blood out. Like, really? I said all mosquitoes do is bite you and suck your blood.
I don't know what the mosquitoes do. Like, I guess it's because they feed other animals. Like, other animals feed off of them, I mean.
Yeah.
But as far as their own existence, they don't break down anything.
I think their lifespan is like 24 hours or something like that.
It's an economic
ecosystem thing, right? Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Like they're part of the web, right? But it's like we could literally omit them and the other animals just continue eating other things. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I can come up with mosquitoes is they're excellent for transmitting certain viruses so that they can help with population control. So maybe that helps.
Wow.
It's true.
Wow, that was.
Well, that's a way to end on a positive note.
I'm just saying, man.
I got one more left. Thank goodness. Wow.
Can we bend with a
What's
smile,
wrong with that?
please?
What did I say that was so wrong?
I didn't say you said was wrong.
I said it was like it was dark or something. I'm just saying.
No, it's just real.
Humanity is like a living cancer on the planet. Like that's literally all we do is break stuff and destroy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we're the apex predator. Ain't nothing really feeding off of us like that. So in order for nature to keep us in balance, we have diseases and we have weaker defense systems. So like we don't have claws and tough skin and all of that because unlike animals who have to rapidly adjust to meet their environment, we're able to rapidly adjust our environment to meet us. So ain't nobody out there coming for us. So Earth is like, I got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
There we are.
And with that positive note,
the next video. Jeez.
Without bringing race into it, okay? Let's hit it one more time. Without bringing race into this conversation. What in the living hell is white supremacy?
Without bringing avocados into this. Without bringing avocados into this, what is guacamole?
exactly.
I mean, if we gon' not talk about cocoa, what exactly is chocolate?
Basically, how you want to do, sir, and I use that term very loosely, is you want to extract out the reason for white supremacy and then have a definition explained to you of white supremacy. So, without bringing in, I'm not going. I can't.
I mean, how you're trying to define something without the definition of the something, but it's cool. This is what you do with him, right? You know, he ain't gonna be able to understand it though. You know,
tell him to stop dating his cousin.
So first of all, why you got your grandma's panties on the back behind your head. You know what I'm saying? Them big old them granny britches. Why them up there behind you like that, man? Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, you know, she ain't gonna appreciate you putting her bloomers out there like that. But then, fine, we're gonna talk about white supremacy without talking about race. So the first thing we must do, sir, is understand that white is not a race. White is a social construct, catch-all for those who are of European descent, which is an ethnic conversation and a cultural conversation. So now we can talk about this without having to talk about race. And then we go down and talk about it.
I want to know why he capitalized every other letter. That was getting on my nerves. And did y'all see misspellings, or was it just me? I'm like, I saw some misspelled words.
Well, it's probably because the magical algorithms probably would have picked up if he had properly spelled white. Because depending upon when you write stuff, you can say black, but you sometimes can't say white. Like they take all the words, and if white is in there and there's another word that's treated like a buzzword is in that sentence, they'll flag the whole darn thing. Yeah. So
but Anna,
maybe that's why.
Say that they what did they say your mom's name was?
I'm sorry?
You emailed me or you text me saying that the caption was saying something completely different than what we were saying.
Oh, on the John Irola video, Trump got bleeped up.
Oh no! It was at. By the way, that's still funny as crap.
I didn't find that all that funny. I didn't get it.
You didn't,
because he used a bad word.
Because he normally don't use it. Normally does it.
He did not mean to use it, and so he found out on air on the pre-show
that he had used it.
That meant he meant to use it.
Okay.
And he fell down to the floor laughing at himself. It's actually quite funny.
That was funny. Because I get what cracked him up because I had to look
really
at it
his reaction to
times.
It. Yeah.
Because he kept saying, well, the word that he used is bad enough. And it's like, but dude, the word that you typed was a whole lot worse then. If the word that you used was bad enough.
The one I hate is when you are writing an email at work and you are typing the word shift and you miss the F.
Oh,
I've done that at least 2 or 3 times.
I have never
to the point that I will not use the word shift anymore.
Adjustment.
I say schedule, work hours. I will not say shift because I swear I've sent enough of them. That's it.
Now that happened to one of my coworkers, and he
autocorrect knows you.
This bleep. I was like, because I know this guy. If you think I don't cuss, this guy literally he meant shut, like shut the door, and he just said bleep the door. He was like, I was like, but did you really mean to say bleep the door, or was you talking about shut the door? He was like, oh my gosh. He was like, I'm so sorry, everybody. I was like, yeah, I'm just glad, just be glad they weren't checking that day.
Yeah, you're not allowed to reference to the dry breaded items. Which is cool because personally, I don't think you should be. Like, there's certain words that are there's just certain words. You know what I mean? Like the breaded items, the N word, the C word. There's 2 of those. Don't use either one of them.
That's why they have unalived instead of that word.
Well, I don't agree with that one. Like that one, that's a word that should still be used because it's such an important thing.
Why they did, but I know exactly.
Analyzing the.
I know exactly why they did it because that was the whole rash of go, and I'm gonna use unalive in it, but that was the whole rash of I hate you, go unalive yourself, and all this other stuff that we was having an issue with. Didn't last long.
But the word itself is not used that way. Usually it's going to be the kill word or something like that,
I was
right?
gonna say.
But that word,
So
everything that's in the algorithm for Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and everything else, just like every rule, not every, majority of the rules and regulations that we abide by is because something happened to
somebody
have this
abused it.
rule be created.
Yeah,
so
somebody abused it at some point.
Somebody abused it, and YouTube just like, no, we can't have it. So I guarantee you there was somebody that, again, because I don't want to get kicked off, said,
sorry, I already used the word. So
yeah, I know, but I'm prepared to see what the heck is going to be said tomorrow.
Hey, you could get banned for a week like I did for playing a clip, and I said, hey, this is a clip I'm playing, and I got permission from the guy to play it.
Well, they shut me down for 24 hours because I used the word shot in the context of get your COVID shot.
No, you're supposed to say immunization.
I was about to get banned for a week. I never did tell y'all the story, which is why I said I have to watch what I say out here. But I never did tell y'all the story of what happened. They was going to ban us, for a week because somebody reported that we was in support of the voter fraud.
Yeah, that's
and
what
I
we're
had
here
to
saying.
email them and go, dude, do y'all even look through my video to realize that we were completely and utterly
if they did that, I'd just let you on my channel. I'm like, hey, Marvin,
all
come
they
on
need
over
is
here.
multiple people to report it. That's
Yep,
all they
some
need.
trolls.
You don't even need multiple people. That's a lie. You need one.
You need
person.
one ignorant, stupid
You need one
person.
ignorant person to sit there and say,
I don't got nothing else to do with my life, so I'm gonna make this
I
work.
don't like what you said about Trump, so I'm gonna sit there and say that you said something. Just like if you look at my algorithm right now and you realize that I can have 10 likes, by tomorrow it'll be down to 5, maybe 6.
Because somebody either took their lock away or they put a dislike.
Yeah. So
I don't think that's right as far as making sure that like they took away the dislikes. I don't like that. They did that for conservatives. They didn't do that for everybody else. Let's just be real.
Yeah, because some of them I don't like.
But I think you should show the like and the dislike. I mean, what? So what? It's engagement either way.
They're trying to be positive.
No, they're not. They're trying to hide stuff because people on the right were having their feelings hurt that people were going to their channels.
And then they call us the snowflakes.
But of course, it's all projection.
All projection. I saw a video about that, and I think I literally am going to play that tomorrow with this, like, the other side just complained about this. You can't be a black. Rizzo can't play a flute from a slave owner. You can't have a black mermaid. You can't have a black this. You can't have a black that. You can't do this. You can't do that. But you call us snowflakes.
And the reason they can do it is because we give them the power to do so. We actually care what they say. That's why. Like the people on the left really kind of are snowflakes.
I didn't even
look
on
the left kind of are snowflakes because anything that they say on the other side, we have to react to it. They drive the media atmosphere all the time because they get out there and just say some crazy shit. And then we'll be like, that's not true. And then we'll be like, we don't ever push our own stuff. We're so busy defending and responding to their mess that we're not pushing our messages. And then those of us who are trying to push messages get drowned out by our own side. So, like you listen to a lot of people who are truly on the left, not like your extremes or whatnot, but just more rational. I call them rational in my biased opinion. And they'll say stuff like you got to take care of, like with the Fetterman debate, one of the things he's being called out for is the thing about fracking, right?
Right.
And like, if you really come at it, in my opinion, as a rational person, you understand that you can't flip a switch. Like, we're not there yet. So there's an entire industry that currently exists within the fracking and the oil drilling and all that stuff. And he's trying to look out for his entire community, whether he fully agrees with them or not. He's trying to look out for all of them. So he's like, yeah, I support fracking, but what I really want us to do is this green stuff. We need to do all of this so we can stop doing that. But he doesn't have the ability to really express himself the way he could prior.
Right.
So he had to use those very simple words, which was like, that's what I picked up. What I picked up was whenever it was something that was easy to say, he would say it. But when it was really complex and nuanced, he couldn't pull the words that he wanted to use to get out of his mouth. So instead, he's got 10 seconds to respond. Yes, I support fracking.
Here's what I would say. I would rather vote for John Fetterman. All he had to do is blink his eyes, and I know he's better than Dr. Oz. I don't have to. It didn't take the litmus test. That
it ain't that deep, right?
It just ain't that deep. I'm like, dude could literally blink his eyes, do Morse code, and I'll still be like, if I was in Pennsylvania, I'd still vote for him. Oz is nothing but a snake oil used car salesman.
I agree. What I would love is for Fetterman to do an interview with these ABC, NBCs, all these people, because they always ask him the same question. Do you feel that you're truly capable of serving in the office? And my question to them or response would be, you often at times ask me that. Would you ask me that if I were blind or if I were deaf?
Mm-hmm.
Why
Probably.
or why not? And then ask them why or why not.
If I was in a wheelchair.
No, Roosevelt was in a wheel. Oh, well, he kept his.
But I mean, Abbott's in a wheelchair, right?
But that's different. But this is the.
So it's
all ableism. It's all ableism because the thing is.
But this is the deal that I have with everybody across the board. This is going to be controversial as crap, but this is the way I feel. What I have an issue with, Republican, Democrat, Independent, it doesn't matter. I don't like this when people say in 1980, 1990, 2001, you said this. Then last week, you said this. So can you tell us why was the big change? And it's always assumed as a got you question, like you said this then, but now you're saying this. So what's the point? And I always want somebody to go, well, things changed. Back then, it was this issue.
I think it's a fair question.
I don't
have a problem with the question. I have a problem with people trying to defend it. It's like, no. Back then, in the Constitution, they literally say you need to visit the Constitution every 7 years because things change. So how I feel back then, I feel now things changed and I feel this way.
It's all about how that politician's responding to it. That's the problem.
Yeah, because like Fetterman, like there was a clip, literally they played
2018, yeah.
That Fetterman said, not Fetterman, Dr. Oz said, I'm for a woman's right to choose. I believe that a woman has autonomy. I'm paraphrasing. What, a year and a half later, now you pro-choice? I'm pro-life? Nah.
No, I need more than a year and a half. I'm talking about people.
That clip was from a year and a half.
Because your epiphany can come whenever it comes. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying you need to speak to it. I'm saying that last week you said.
Yeah, last week you said blacks were not people. Now this week you're trying to say they are. Which one is it? Yeah, I'm gonna ask a gotcha question every time.
When you have people, I'm just talking about the normal situation. I know this is hard, but just flow with me on this one. And I'll give you an example. Back in 2000 something, you said we need to raise taxes because we need to have these fundamental things that help the American people. Now you're saying that we don't need to raise taxes because that would help. So, sir, can you explain to me what's the difference? And it's like, okay, because back then we needed, the economy was good, so we needed the money to help these departments that helps everybody. Now we don't.
It's all about how you respond. The
It's
question
the-
is fair. Like if they ask Pete Buttigieg those types of questions, he would make you look stupid for asking him that stupid ass question, right? Because he would walk you back to 2018 and the situation that was at play, and then he will walk you forward and he would say, so as my understanding grew, my feelings about it changed, and I was able to come to where I am now, right? So there's no problem with the question. The problem is they do it in that gotcha moment, like Marlon's saying, so you got 2 seconds to answer it. Like they ask it and move on, ask it and move on. That's why if I ever end up in a position where I am leading an organization, I'm saying it here. If I'm leading an organization or I'm in some type of elected office, I'm not doing all your major media runs. Not doing it. Mr. Robinson, we got ABC on the line. They want you to come in and do whatever their program is for Sunday. I'm not interested.
How would then you would win?
Huh?
No, he's running an organization.
This is if I'm already doing whatever.
No,
I'm doing.
he said or public office. So I'm
right.
like, well,
If I'm in public office, I'm not coming to your Sunday show. See, that's the thing. Like, I legit, if let's say I was somehow became a senator for my wonderful state of Georgia, right? I don't care if I get reelected. I'm going to do the job. And what I'll do along the way is I'll make sure I'm having town hall meetings. I'll make sure that I have a regular weekly, like this type of thing, right? Where I just come out and say, hey, here's what I'm working on. Here are some of the things I can share with you that's going on. Here are the things that I run into with obstructions or obstacles, right? I make sure I'm constantly talking to you. Now, that's not how you get reelected, though, because how you get reelected, though, is donors and all that other stuff. But that just means I wouldn't get reelected. Because the reality
you have to be
is,
okay with that.
You got to be okay with that. Go in there and they say, well, you got to be a sophomore or junior in order to really be able to get anything done. So that means you had to be reelected, once or twice. I don't want a job that it takes 6 years for me to finally be able to do something. Because if that's what it takes, then I'm already going to be a creature of this thing. Like, I'm not the same person I was 6 years ago because now I'm in this thing, right? I need you to come in and start talking that stuff from the beginning. Like Warnock started talking that stuff like 6 months after he got there. He's not quite saying what I want him to say, but he started saying that stuff right after he got there. AOC started talking that stuff right after she got there. Marjorie Taylor Greene, right after she got there. It wasn't about being reelected, even though it turned into that. It wasn't about that, though.
Not in Warnock's case, because he's losing.
He's not losing.
I think he's gonna lose.
He may, because Georgia is a whole state and it's predominantly red. But my point is, who's telling you that it's tight and who's telling you that he's losing? It's the same people who are already trying to make sure the narrative stays tight so you stay engaged. They want you to keep your eyes on it. They're not polling a bunch of black people, even though Atlanta's like 90% black and Savannah's like 70% black. They're not coming to us. That's not who you seeing when they put a little poll together.
But the state is majority white, right?
Let me interrupt real quick.
The state is overwhelmingly white. Don't get me. Well, no, it's not actually. The state is overwhelmingly red. Metro Atlanta has 3 million people in it alone.
Right, but I'm saying if you took out Atlanta.
But you can't. We're here.
But you can't.
I'm just saying, but
I'm saying if you took Atlanta out, there might be, if you scratch together the whole rest of the state, you might get to where the amount of people.
But Tracy, let me say this real quick. This is what happened with, this is going to sound crazy. He's not going to win. He's not going to win. He's not going to win. So if he's not going to win, guess what? As in your mind, you're not going to go vote because he's not going to win. So what's the point of me going?
Oh, that was y'all dumb Democrats doing that when Hillary ran. That wasn't me because I sure went and voted.
Here's the deal with, and this is how we got Donald Trump. because it was the same
Well,
equation.
no, you ran
There
the
is no
worst
way in
candidate
the
that you could
world.
possibly run. She
There
was
is
a
no
terrible
way in the
candidate.
world Donald Trump is going to win.
I
Hey,
mean,
real
I
quick,
thought it.
real quick,
I ain't
Tracy.
gonna lie.
Yeah,
So
you
I
had a
did
lot
think
of
it.
people. So
The
I agree
state,
with you. I'm like,
all
America
their
can't
polls,
be
I
this
was like,
stupid. So I was wrong.
but the state of Georgia has approximately 10.1 million people, and Metro Atlanta has 5.1 million. So
Okay,
we're
so that's
literally
half the
half the
population.
entire population.
Yeah, that's half
of
this
the
population.
state.
Okay, see that I did not realize.
But no, but it's true. I mean, it's like, and we had this conversation months ago, and we're like, what is it that you really are after? Because if only message that you put out there verbally, even if you know otherwise, the only thing you're verbally saying is the other side's going to win, we're going to lose, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. You really create the world that you say you don't want, because there's people listening to us, whether we know it or not, who are like, these are some people who know what they're talking about.
Oh no,
they right,
nobody
they
in
ain't gonna
Georgia.
win, so
Y'all
I
don't
just ain't
listen to me.
even waste my time.
I don't live in Georgia. I'm just making predictions.
but
That's
what I'm
all I'm
saying,
doing.
But I mean, you're
whole
speaking it.
premise.
Like, I mean,
But,
I'm
yeah.
not to be dirty, but like, according to the faith that we were all brought up on, right? You speaking it, like you putting it out there, as opposed to saying this is how we win. What we're hearing a lot of is we gonna lose.
The whole premise of how they do it, and they've done it for years because it's been successful. You got one or two ways. Either you're going to say, hey, vote for my candidate. Vote for my candidate. Vote for my candidate. Because they are for you. The other way of doing it is, well, don't vote for the other candidate. Don't vote for the other candidate. Don't vote for the other candidate. Now, you could do the hard work and say, don't vote for the other candidate because they believe in this. They're going to do this. They're going to try to do this. You could do that way. Or you could take the lazy way of doing it, which has worked, and just flat out say, don't vote for the other candidate because he's not going to win anyway.
Or even worse.
So you just not going to go to the polls and vote because you've already told me he's not going to win. So I'm wasting my vote.
But
so
that's what y'all
point?
tell. Well, I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna leave
Talk about the third party thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't tell you that you're wasting your vote because you wanted to vote third party. I actually am saying that I actually want us to have a multi-party system. Where I push back is, how you think you're gonna be able to do that in one cycle? Like, where's that work? Where's that work? No, they do say that. They do say that, Tracy, because what they don't do,
Tracy,
every cycle we get a new third party.
At your person for the simple fact, when I asked the question, if you lose, would you run again? You jump to, they ain't gonna lose. They ain't gonna lose.
Yeah, because you.
Okay, fine.
Okay, I did. I did.
Happy with that. Okay, great, fine, wonderful. Kumbaya, I got it. But let's move on to if they lose. If they lose, will they run again? Because with the independent party, it has always been, and I apologize, Tracy, but I'm just being realistic with you. Every election cycle, it always winds up with the independent party of who the hell is this? Because we keep getting new people.
That's because people don't pay attention.
Over again. It's like,
but that's an excellent point, Tracy.
You?
Excellent point.
Because
there's been 100% fair. People are not paying attention. So that
Howie Hawkins has ran for president at least twice.
And no one knows that name.
That's because they keep him off. They purposely keep him out of the debates. We're
in a two-party system where if you're independent, you can't even get on the ballot in every state, right?
No.
And then if you can get on the ballot, you can't get on the early ballot, like the primary ballot, right?
By the way, I'm not denying that either.
Gerrymandering, not in the presidential election. Congress, yes, that's how we're gonna get a Republican Congress. Yeah, because they're gonna be gerrymandered all the way through. They're gonna make sure they get theirs.
The House is subject to gerrymandering. The Senate is popular vote.
And the presidency
is the electoral college. So what we end up with is they play the electoral college game, which is like old school gerrymandering, right? Like it's like preset. They ain't got to touch it. It's just like this is how we do it. And the only way you defeat the electoral college, well, there's two ways. One, we have to revise it, okay,
or get rid of it. That'd be.
I don't want to get rid of it.
I do.
I'll
because it's rooted in racism. I'm like, this
America's
came out
rooted
of
in racism.
The whole
damn Constitution is rooted in racism.
It should be the popular vote. Just whoever wins.
I don't agree.
Whoever gets the most votes wins. That's it. I don't agree.
I don't agree because think about it this way. And I'm speaking from the standpoint of being a minority, right? So majority wins is the scariest system that I could imagine in America. Because America abuses power. You have to have something that protects the minority vote, whatever that minority may be. So for me, I would rather if you keep the electoral college, then you need to factor in the popular vote so that they become weighted. So that you just don't just win one and you get the whole dang on thing. I don't like that. But to get rid of the electoral college and go straight to majority vote, it could end up with the majority being, we end up with like the Shiite Sunni type situation. You know what I'm saying? Where like there's a majority and they won. So the rest of y'all ain't got no jobs. Y'all ain't got nothing, right? My team won. Your team lost. Shut up. And I don't want that. And that's what I see America doing.
I do get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Cannot stand the electoral college.
I get what you're saying because it's kind of like
what the point of me voting for president? I might as well just leave it blank.
I voted for this person, but because
I can't believe you just said that out loud.
No, I might as well just leave it blank. Just don't even vote for it because my vote doesn't count technically.
And what world are you getting that from?
My vote for president doesn't count.
Why not?
Because we don't use the popular vote to pick president. We use the electoral college.
Does your state not have electoral representatives?
That's because that's
does your state not have electoral representatives?
It's appointed by a Republican governor, so he's going to appoint Republican people.
That's saying that you're holding that static, but that would mean that the rest of this country would be the same situation. If you're a Republican,
the electoral college got to go.
That statement right there.
I was shocked to hear that one.
I'm shocked.
I might as well just leave it blank.
That statement right there is the equivalent, the equivalent of what I grew up with for years. Of what's the point of voting when they already has decided who's going to win?
That's just a statement I would expect from someone who doesn't know the system, and you actually know the system. So that's why I was shocked to hear from
you. Because it doesn't make
nuance than that.
No, the electoral
give up on the third party. Why are you wasting your time on the third party?
Those are two different things.
Why are you wasting your time?
I'm against the electoral college. The electoral college is
still in place. Electoral college.
I already said let's go by popular vote. But I already said let's just go. Let's throw it all in the river.
Right. But then we were talking about it, but we're not talking about it that way because in that case, it's a different
Republican,
system.
Democratic, Independent. Independent is always going to come in last. So if you're going by popular vote,
Independent still third party, right?
Independent still third vote.
My thing is, if the electoral college tilts the game unfairly, which personally I think it does.
It did it twice. Twice in my lifetime, the electoral college has picked someone that did not win the popular vote.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm like, it happened twice in my lifetime, 2 times.
Right.
And it might happen a third.
Right. Now,
it happened
twice. I can't remember how old.
Al Gore was the first one. Hillary Clinton was the second one.
I want you to say that out loud. It happened twice in 14
which is a total of 8
years.
That's a total of 8 years.
If we had so if we had just went popular vote, we'd have had President Al Gore and President Hillary Clinton.
If we had just gone popular vote, you wouldn't have voting rights.
That doesn't even make sense because
when do you pick your starting point? Where are you picking your starting point? You want to start now?
That argument doesn't even make sense.
Yes, it does. Where are you starting? Wait, Marlon, 1 second.
I'm assuming that every American has equal voting rights. I'm already just.
In what country are you living in?
live in the United States of America. I can still vote. I can still vote. It may be harder for me to vote in certain areas.
That's not the
if I live in a certain state.
Okay, let's reset the table.
To happen, though. You ain't supposed to have a hard time.
So y'all just okay with just picking just anybody that okay. Well, okay, but let me get this situation. So when Trump wins again in 2024, because that's what I think is going to happen. Don't want it to happen. Don't want it to happen, but
based on what?
If Trump wins the Electoral College,
based on what do you say he's going to win? What are you using as your barometer to say that he'll win?
In my opinion, I will
based
on current poll numbers, the fact that the economy is tanking, the fact that inflation.
The economy is not tanking. We had growth in the GDP. The GDP is growing.
Can people afford gasoline? Can people afford groceries? Can people afford rent? They cannot.
That's not the economy tanking, Tracy. You are mixing terms when you actually literally would know the difference. The economy is not tanking. It feels bad because there are a lot of bad things that are structurally broken in this country.
Nah, y'all trying to sell that vote blue no matter who's stuff. I'm not.
Let's go back.
I didn't say that. That was a cheap move. That right there. Come on now. If you have a real conversation with me, then let's have a conversation. But what you just said doesn't even make sense for real. I never made that point. I didn't say that. What I was saying was trying to work with what you put on the table.
Let's go back to what we said last week, and y'all could go back and see what I said. The economy has changed. What part of the economy?
I'm going, okay, this is what I'm basing it on, and maybe I'm not an expert. I don't put myself as an expert.
Things. That's my point. Like, you know how to research things. You know how to get the real information. This isn't, we're not talking to somebody off the street that doesn't know. You literally know. So when you say something like that, it has more weight. So to say that the economy is tanking when the GDP is up, when unemployment is down, when we got the fuel thing is like is a global situation. We got inflation, which is a global situation, and our inflation isn't even equal to that around the world. We are actually ahead of the pack, and what you said is not backed by any facts.
I just want to know again what part, not the economy, because that's what the deal is. Everybody say the economy and put the economy in one big whole bubble when it's not. It's not. What part of the economy is crashing?
Housing.
Yeah, that's one.
I have no issue with what I got paying for the mortgage.
No, but to get a house, like to be a person.
The problem of getting a house have been going on for the last 10 years.
No, but not at this rate. You have literally, you have foreign investors. No, you have foreign investors that are allowed to buy property. They aren't buying it. They're just buying it to make the rents extremely high.
Whoa! I didn't say property. I said housing. The
housing is property.
For the United States,
multi-family housing, single family.
It has been an issue for 10 years.
Let me clean this up just a little bit. So, the economy is multiple areas and multiple factors.
But right? All I'm saying,
it is not the stock market.
Agree.
It's not the fuel market.
I agree with that.
It's not the unemployment numbers. It's not government spending. It's not housing. It's not transportation. It's all of those things.
Right, but I'm saying that I think that's what y'all miss is the point. I didn't say that. Well, I don't think
you did say the economy is tanking.
I said the economy is tanking. Those were my words. But the reason, how is that wrong? Because so people not affording groceries, that's wrong. Okay,
is that the economy?
It's part of it.
Yes, but is it the economy? That's like saying the tires are a car.
It's tanking, not the whole economy is tanking.
I want to know who y'all know
that's like saying the tires are a car.
No.
It's a piece of the whole. It is hard for people to afford groceries. It is almost impossible for a young working adult to afford a home, like to
or an
purchase
apartment,
or rent. Doesn't matter which way they're trying to go.
or to get to work. But I'm wrong if saying the economy is tanking.
You're wrong
Okay.
for saying the economy is tanking because you're
So
mystifying the economy.
homelessness is like at an all-time high,
Ooh, let's
but
go
I'm
with
wrong.
that. That started when? When did that issue start?
We've always had homelessness.
Okay, that's my point.
I did. Okay, so y'all apparently y'all not listening.
The definition
to
is what it is. If you would be more precise in the words you use, because economy is like saying America.
Well, America's not on the right track. Period.
Okay, when has America ever been on the right track?
When?
I never said it was.
I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying you did. When has America
I
been on
never
the right
said
track?
that. What I'm saying is it's
have
about perception. It's about perception. That's the main thing that people think.
Okay,
When you
then
can't, when you can't,
That's fair.
when you go to the grocery store, and I'm just using a food item, and bread used to cost $1.25 and now it costs $2.50. Sure, I
That
know
is
Joe
real.
Biden doesn't control the price of bread. I know that, you know that, Anna knows that. Regular person is like,
Regular person knows it as well. But the problem is we can't pretend as though economic impact is not real. We can't.
Right.
Because day to day, I can't put my kid in college. I'm stressing trying to get to work. If I do go to work, I can't buy lunch. I'm eating popcorn every day because I was able to buy one box for $5. It fed me for the entire week. That stuff is real. But it's not the economy. It's not the full definition of the economy. And then on top of that, it's like, okay, let's say the Republicans are saying, and this is not your point, Tracy. I'm going to the Republicans are saying that the Democrats are not running the economy properly. And if you vote for us, we will fix the economy. Well, what are you going to do, Republicans? Here's what I offer you as a Republican. What we're going to do is we're actually going to not pass the debt ceiling, which will then have our national credit downgraded yet again, which will drive up the cost of borrowing and the cost of doing business even more. So now you have more inflation. Oh, and we're also going to go and repeal all these bills that was used to push money into the economy because that was coming off of, our debt. So it's like people are going to have their emotional attachment to things or reaction to things, and that's fair and it's real. But my thing is, for those of us who actually are in this stuff, who talk about this stuff, who read and absorb and all that, it's our responsibility to know what the hell we're talking about so that we can give some more context to it. So that, yes, milk went from $1.50 to $3. That's 100% increase. If you need milk in your house, that sucks. And can't no conversation I give you make that not suck, right?
Let me stop you real quick, Thea, because we got a new person here, and I have to explain to you because you're new. You're new here. Why is this conversation not civil? You can't understand another viewpoint when you just want to tell the opposing viewpoint that you're wrong. Cal, this is literally the equivalent of a family squabble. We do this all the time.
And my question before I go into saying, okay, so Kyle Vin, the CV, before I go into saying that you're wrong, I also, if you play it back, I ask, what do you mean? And if you don't tell me what you mean,
this is what we do.
I'm gonna come at you. Right? And my
this
family, everybody on here is family, so they already know this is how we do.
Yeah,
right.
This is what
so
we
if you're
do.
gonna say something, I'm gonna ask you to explain yourself because I need to know how I'm gonna engage.
I've always said this about this show. Do you know how to keep a show civil? You don't make it personal.
Yeah.
You don't make name calling because I will drop you in a freaking heartbeat on the name calling. That's just crap. And you keep it going. You can have a civil conversation at the top of your lungs. Believe it or not, you probably can, and we have. But this is a family squabble. I guarantee you, and I promise you, man, Kyle, I'm not getting on you when I say this. But if you're holding a conversation with somebody and you have a whole, yep, yeah, sure, you're that's not the place you want to be. That's not a conversation. That's a vacuum of, hey, whatever you say, I agree with it because I want to keep the peace. This is not what this show is about. We ain't trying to keep the peace. We try to educate on an array of different things. There are going to be people that's going to watch this video and go, Tracy is absolutely wrong and this is being a bully. Funny thing about it is there's going to be people that's going to look at this show and say the exact opposite.
And I can take criticism too.
This is right, and Tracy has been the bully. And you know what? Neither one of them is wrong. Neither one of them is right. That's not the point of this show. The point of this show is did you learn
I think a fair point
from
though.
This show?
The fair point though, because Kyle is consuming the content. So I don't think you want to dismiss it all the way. So what I would say is, yes, I could bring it down some, and I can certainly take that feedback. Okay. So if that's part of what you're saying, I feel you there.
I think they're mistaking civil for passionate, though.
Yeah, and by the way, Thea's, if you take your passion down, there's no reason for you to be on this show again.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm serious.
That's not what I'm
sorry,
saying.
dude. You're my brother. I love you to death. But if you change your take and your passion for what you believe in, and I'll say it to Anna and I will say it to Tracy, if you have to take your tone and your obedience and blah 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 and everything, I'm sorry, you can't be on here no more. I
hate for you to have to drop me, but what I'm saying is there's many ways to engage, and I'm actually a fairly adept speaker. I do public speaking. I don't have a problem with that. If you've seen any of my other videos, I can be very low and boring. So it's like I have the ability to function on different levels. So if me getting a little too animated gets in the way of someone hearing what I'm saying, then that's constructive feedback that I would like to hear from other people as well. Because if there's a better way for me to get the information to you, I want to do that, right? But at the same time, I'm not going to do like Marlon was saying and go that whole old school, what was that, point counterpoint thing. Oh, yes, I can. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Who want to do all that
stuff? I know. Jeez.
So if I heard you correctly,
I'm going to say this.
But do know
and
this,
I'm going to call you a piece of crap. And then I'm going to sit here for the next 20 minutes for you to counterpoint why you don't think that you're not a piece of crap. Go.
But don't know this, Kyle. They do pick on your girl. Just know that.
We do.
We
sometimes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Now, it's hard to say that after we just did game night, dog.
I don't have a problem. Okay. Tracy.
No, we gotta let Tracy have that one.
I'm gonna fight that. Tracy. Oh God, how can I say this? Tracy, when have I ever picked on you?
Well, besides
you ain't even gonna let me finish. Nah.
Look at Anna count. Anna count. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna.
Anna, it's like yesterday, right?
Yeah. Yesterday. My last
friend.
When
have I ever picked on you out of spite?
I didn't say out of spite. I don't think I used the term out of spite.
When have I ever picked on you out of context?
You mean context?
He dropping all these qualifiers.
All I said was they be picking on your girl.
When have I ever picked on you when it was raining?
When have I ever picked on you?
Let me put my crown back on because the queendom, she has to make her return.
Oh, dude.
But Kyle, it's actually good. We really do like having the feedback from different people. Yes. We like.
Kyle, please come back and talk to us. But I was just, I wanted to put your mind at ease that this is not that show where you have four people that just screaming at the top of their lungs at each other. this is.
Yeah, this ain't The View.
I kind of like
the
The
word
View. I
for it.
used
I've
to
never
anyway.
watched The View. This
I
is
used to
just
watch that
how
sometimes.
we dissect everything, and I love each and every person that's on this show. And
I can't tell.
You can't do it.
I can't tell. When you said you love each other, I'm like, I can't tell.
I'm not gonna show my love to you by agreeing with everything that you say. That's not showing love.
What if that's her love language, though, Marlon?
Oh no.
Here's the problem, Theus. I'm not dating Tracy. I'm married. So
But you are still in a relationship with your family. And you have to know how your family gives.
You know, it's 12:17 and we still sitting here talking.
Yeah.
I'm backing you up and you just told me to shut up.
Basically.
Well, basically, I mean, because my eyes I'm like, wait a minute, why am I getting so
Tracy?
sleepy?
Because I gotta watch at least 2 episodes of Green Acres tonight before I can go to sleep.
Wait a minute, you watch Green Acres?
I love Green Acres. I am on like episode chapter. I'm on season 1. I want to say it's like episode 4.
Hey, whoa! Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not hating on the ladies. I'm not. If she wants to put her crown on, I'm gonna still call her Tracy. But if she wants to put her crown on, she can put her crown on.
Wait until you see my costume tomorrow. If you think the crown was something, you ain't seen honey, you haven't seen listen here, honey. You haven't seen nothing yet.
Cal, this show will be back on. Theus is not gonna be here, so I'm gonna give you a heads up. But we will be back on at 8:00 tomorrow Eastern Standard Time.
Epic
and
costume.
Tracy is gonna put on a costume.
And I only do it like once a year at Halloween.
That's enough.
Hey, it's better than the Christmas show where I showed up with lights all on me.
That was fun. That was cute.
That was fun. I actually liked that one. That was cool. I liked it.
It was hot, but
I bet it was.
You had lights.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I have these
not a globe on you. It should be hot.
I have these tender moments every so often, man. I appreciate Anna, and you so warm and loving, and you know what I'm saying. And then even when you like message us in between or off channel or whatnot, like just your youthful love and joy, so dope. And Tracy,
I knew you wouldn't talk about me.
I give you a hard time, but that's just because I see the greatness in you. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you say something that doesn't quite jive with what I know, what you've shown me and all that, sometimes I push you because in my opinion, out of the 4 of us, you the best one out of us. You know what I mean? So that's why I push you so hard sometimes. Marlon, you my dog, man.
I gotta sit here and laugh at that one. Man. I'm like, I am clearly.
Y'all never know the stuff Marlon does for us. You know what I'm saying? When he ain't on this thing, man. It takes a lot of work for him to put these videos together, keep these people here together.
Sure does.
All these weird personalities that he's working with. You know what I'm saying? But he stepped up. He's the big brother of the group. And he runs this like a business because it is business. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. And then, me, I just talk too goddamn much. So that's what I do.
Good night, Calvin.
Good night, Cal. I hope
to
see you tomorrow.
Subscribe to Marlon's channel. Yes, there's that music.
Here's the deal, Kyle, and for everybody else that may be watching this show is
we can't hear you over the semi-porn music.
No, this is that chill music right here.
Come on,
I said semi,
but it is a bit loud.
Man, it is loud.
It is loud.
It's that weed music right here, even though I don't smoke. It's that weed music.
This is the deal with this group. And I'm gonna try not to tear up, but it is totally amazing to me that I got an extended family in 2 years. And I'm not married to nobody, there's no connection other than the conversations that we had on this show for 2 years. On this show. And you will be amazed that we talk more throughout the week, texting each other and holding conversation with each
we
other
talk through
than
Messenger.
we
Y'all don't ever
ever
text
do
me.
on this show because we text each other.
I only do Messenger
every
too. I
single
don't
Yeah,
text
y'all
anybody.
do
It's
Messenger.
only
Y'all don't never
Messenger,
text
Tracy.
me.
I mean Messenger. We
Ain't no
message
That's
secret
what it means.
conversations happening.
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
day
No
all
secret
day
conversation happening.
of everything that's going on. I appreciate every last one of you. And I may came off a little harsh when I said I don't want nobody to change. Only for the simple fact of, yeah, that's what made this show. Why would you change absolutely anything that makes you you? And the funny thing, and then here's the deal. The funny thing about it is, it's been a long time since we had a fight like that.
We didn't fight. We just disagreed.
It's
We
not a
didn't
fight.
fight. We really wasn't technically fighting.
I've made Tracy mad before.
Mhm.
And I pretty much made Thea's. I made you
No,
and Thea's
not
mad.
me.
Yeah.
I love my Tracy.
So can I go with my take on Obama again, or we gonna have to trade
No.
that?
No.
You can't make me mad talking about Obama. I don't even like that dude.
So I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna get on off this show so we can get rid of it.
I made both of y'all mad. I don't want to do this and show no more if it's political.
eliminated. You put obstacles in.
It was potential.
Yes, we realized it was potential. That's what made us mad.
That's what made me mad. When you
Anna,
lie
please
to
tell
my
everybody
face,
where they can
I
find
don't appreciate it.
Well, when my dog isn't trying to take up the whole bed,
Hey,
and then Barely, hey, she's grinning back at you because she's getting a belly rub. I'm at BoreliaEtc.com. That's BorreliaEtc.com, and that will give you links to everything else that I have: Instagram and YouTube.
Yes.
Hey, y'all can find me at ComplexSimpleMan.com. ComplexSimpleMan.com.
Tracy Media LLC.com. That's where you'll find me. And I'm going to have a huge announcement about moving my platform totally online, but that's going to be coming, and I'll make that announcement Tuesday.
Hey, Anna, have you gotten a mug yet?
No, not yet.
When yours comes, I'm gonna have to check on
Oh,
that.
we don't support enough to get mugs.
Crap. I'm happy to say this because I almost forgot. By the way, these shirts and tomorrow's shirt.
I want a Tracy sticker,
I
though.
can't hardly hear you, Marlon.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I probably wasn't speaking loud. This shirt and Radical Truth to Power shirt, this is the last weekend you're going to see it.
Oh,
we're going to do a redesign?
Exactly, Diaz.
Yeah.
Foxy had said that this is old. She don't want it no more. She is
Send me the extras.
rewriting Saturday Night Vibe and Radical Truth to Power. So this will be the last weekend that you will see these shirts. You will not see the new shirts until the new year. So if you see me with a dress shirt on or a different shirt about that,
don't be wearing that suit and tie like you used to do. Don't do that. Don't you do that.
Nina's gonna hate. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals that do not go for the night, please do not forget to hit that like button on the way out the door. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.